Oh, hey, what's up, man? Sorry, I was AFK. I was grabbing me a little bit of snacks and water. I just got back in a sec. All right. Game on. It's about the only time I'm gonna be able to play for a little bit. I mean, I'll be able, like I said, I work on the weekends, so my schedule's a little bit messed up, so I'm still up playing. But realistically, I probably should be going to sleep soon. But I just got up not too long ago. Apparently, I didn't sleep as long as I was hoping. Too much stuff to do. Not enough time in a single day to do it. Like in a single waking hour, not hour, a moment. Yes. I mean, I was slacking. I wasn't doing anything. I didn't even play at all. I was too busy messing with Grok trying to revise my prompt. It was rough. Memory retention is pretty bad, even with an AI. Alright. The first thing we need to do, and we gotta do it quickly, is we need to go fight. Where's that? This guy? We need to go fight this guy twice. Faster, madam, faster! Let's go faster! Let's go faster! I just not here. Line 1. Go line 2. Sorry, I'm snacking. Give me a sec. Alright, there he is. Hi, how's it going, man? You got something for me? Your friend here needs, XP apparently. Hikaru? Fine. Gonna know it. What's 2? See how long it takes to do dailies. I think it takes like an hour and a half if you're doing like everything. But if you're being concise, I think it only takes about 30 minutes, right? Hey, what's up, man? Thank you for being here. You spoil me with your presence. Yeah, no, we'll see about that. You sure about that? No, Tana. So we'll give it a go. Make them pay. Why do you want something for free for some free? Make them work. I know. A lot of energy, didn't it? Alright. Now, we got a problem that is there a boss up? That's going to be the main issue. Any boss. Doesn't matter. I don't really want to do this boss. Line 5, Tempest. Where's Tempest Ogre again? On the wrong line. I'm on line 3. I need to be on 5. P. 5. I don't know. He's too OP in my opinion. That dude one-shots me. I don't know how to avoid it. Nice. He almost one-shotted me again. I don't like that, madam. This dude's too OP. He does too much damage with that electric. I mean, this crap's not that big of a deal because it's not deleting me with one hit. I just need to dodge better. That move right there. They got an electric wing god fist that's so OP it's not even funny. Is there like something's gonna tell me when that's gonna go off? Those AoEs are too fast. Like, that's too fast. That's like, it's not like if you're playing locally and if you're paying attention, it's not too fast. But if they have to deal with a ping, it's too fast. I mean, like if your ping goes above 5, it's too fast. I mean, the argument probably stems a little bit from like. A lot of people say an acceptable ping is like 70 or something like that, and 30 is pretty rough if we're talking about a game of timing. 150 is damn near unplayable but acclimatable, right? The higher the ping goes, you have to acclimate to it, and as long as the ping doesn't change, it's fine. But if it's in flux, it's not good. So it's like you have to set caps on the ping rate, man. You can't if the person can't if the person can't get out of that, what do they call it? I need to continue with my quest real quick. If they can't if they can't meet the next threshold of ping, they need to be throttled back to the other threshold of ping, no matter what, because that means they'll hold the stability of that ping rate, right? So if you're fluctuating between 30 and 50 ping, then you need to be scaled down to 50 ping. That way it's consistent and acclimatable, right? Not in flux. You'll have to cap the ping, man. You'll have to. Unless you can like, it's like on TVs how they have it to where it's 59.99 something, 98 or some shit like that frame rate. It's not 60. They cap it. So it's like you have to cap the ping, man. If you can't meet the threshold of 1 bar, then you stay at 0 bars. If you can't make the threshold of 2 bars, then you stay at 1 bar. If you can't make the threshold of 3 bars, you stay at 2 bars, etc. All the way up to 5 bars, which is bullshit because you're allowing people to fluctuate between a 0 and like a 10 or 15 ping, and realistically, everybody should be set to 15 ping. Not. Well, I can get 0 sometimes. That's gonna screw up your timing. I mean, it's a game designed designed extraordinarily heavily around timing. So it needs to be consistent. Even if it's delayed, it needs to be consistent because muscle memory will at least get you there, and knowledge will carry you the rest of the way. But when you're allowing people with a difference of hardware to run around with extra frames, like 120 when people are still rocking 30, or why didn't the jump work? Or Madam didn't want to jump. She's having fun with me. Well, I'll do what you say when I feel like it. Don't think I'm going to do it because you want me to. Just being tsundere right now, right? In any case, or was it yondere? Can't remember. But yeah, so like you should always cap it at what the competitive standard averagely is, not what the mid-maxing meta spare no expense person can set it to. I mean, and I'm talking about with all the settings turned up. Not, well, I can come in here and I can turn all these settings down, and when I do, I can get my 120 frames. No. If I can't get my 120 frames with the settings on maximum, and on average, everyone can't do that, then it needs to be capped at whatever everyone's average is, whether it's 30, 45, or 60. It's because I'm running out of stamina. I see. It hit my article of clothing, but not me. I think you're lying about it, man. See that? You sure? At least I was on the platform. Like I said, your timer's too long on this. You need to lower the timer. Like if I get hit by something, it takes time away. If I fall off, it takes time away. Right? And then you need to eventually you'll add a lot more different variations of that, and then you would just RNG that crap. That'd be the same thing as going down in the Stigman vault. Those floors are randomized, and you have some parkour levels, and you have some boss fight levels, and you have some ad clear levels, and then you have a puzzle level where you have to solve a puzzle or some crap like that. You know, so I mean, like, diversity in repetitive content on an RNG scale is ideal, and we're getting to the point where we can, you know, do the random generation of levels like Warframe does, to where they build templates, and then when it loads, it pulls from that template. I mean, it's always fun when a new update on Warframe comes out and they add more cells to the map. So you're running around and it's like, wow, this is a new room. Then you're running around for a little bit and you're like, oh no, man, this ain't a new room. I just came in from a different door I've never come in from before. So it looked way different, you know? I mean, because at that point, what if you did it to where when you're going in the vault, you go down a level, and all of a sudden you go back up a level, and then you go back down a level, and you're going up and then down, up and then down. It doesn't have to necessarily be going down floors. You're just traversing the Tower of Time, the labyrinth, right? Where you go and you get all your cosmetics in Soul Calibur 3 or 4, I can't remember. It's a tower. Everybody's collaborating with everyone, which is a good thing because that means that's why people holding licenses, and it's like the whole thing with like X-Men and Spider-Man and all their Marvel. When the licenses are spread out amongst everybody, and no one's willing to collab, artistic creation progress actually stifles and grows. Oh well, I'm not gonna let you use that item because I don't know, I just don't like it. I mean, that's some rough shit, especially if it at least benefits you. You don't have to like the people you work with, man. But you have to respect the people you work with. Right? And, you know, I'm not going to respect the idea, but I'll respect the individual until the individual tells me that shows to me that they're not respecting me as an individual. I don't give a shit if they don't respect my idea. It's fine if you say, your idea is stupid. It's not fine for you to say, you're a brain-dead goldfish, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's not fine. There's nothing fine about that. Competitive competition is created, that's the retort. You're just stupid. Not your idea is stupid, you're stupid. There is a difference between the two of those. An idea is malleable. It can be refined, evolved. Not revolved. I don't know what I was going with there, but yeah, I mean, the only true stupid individual are the stubborn people that refuse to accept that insulting somebody specifically is bad, and refuse to accept an idea is not a person. It'd be one thing if I came up with an idea and I always acted on the idea. It's a different story if I come up with an idea and I advocate for said idea. That is a completely different story. I'm not forcing it in, I'm requesting it in. It's not like, hey, that fire, I'm gonna touch it. And I always touch it. Even after I know I touch it, it's not wise. That's the type of shit it is. That's true stupidity. Not, hey, I think I should touch that fire. And somebody's like, don't do that. That'd be stupid. I'm like, okay. Hey, I should touch that fire. Hey, don't do that. That'd be stupid. That's not the same thing. It's not the same thing as I'm gonna touch that fire and then just touch the fire. Like, the causality of it is not there. It's still in the hypothesis theory stage. So what are you talking about? There's no such thing as a stupid idea, just a stupid action. Shouldn't have said that. Yeah, that's probably true. There's always a better way to word something. Did I finish this? I don't know if did I think I finished them all. I'm not gonna make it, man. I'm not gonna make it. I got 15 minutes and I don't know what else there is to do. Hey, y'all. I'm blind. Where the hell is it at? Oh, it's over here. But in any case, Start the quiz. You can even put a quiz in there. The vault. You can even put a quiz in there. A little bit more complicated one. I didn't realize I needed to click on it to start the quiz. My bad. All right, what we got? What we got? Find the clumsy goblin. Anyway. 3 goblins don't dance. Can you identify their color? Yellow, red, or maroon. 2 maroon, 1 yellow. This one right here. You want some of that, man? Come get it. Are you Shao-San? Oh shit, I didn't realize I... Sorry, I'm trying to bump that song. Alright. The only thing else I know I need to do is... Shit. What am I looking for? Shit, what am I looking for? Is this. That's the only thing I know for sure I need to do. I need to do it too. I need to do the unstable gate or whatever crap's called. I don't remember what it's called. It's unstable something. And it being late, I don't know if I'll be able to find anyone doing it. Man. Space. Unstable space. Sure, I'll be coming. Alright, so the next thing I probably need to do is click on here. Wait, hold up. Oh, and I completely forgot about this. I could go fish. I'll go fish over here. Right. Insufficient space to summon a mount. Come on, man. Teleport me first and then summon the mount. That's a little bit backwards, guys. Teleport me and then summon the mount. Do it the other way around. How many fish do I have to catch? I forget. Right, do I remember how to fish? You hold the button, then move the thing left or right following the fish. I think that's how it works. Oh, I just hit max level. Yay! Again, 1 star. 16.99 centimeters. What is a centimeter? 2.54 centimeters equals 1 inch. Dimensional analysis at its finest, with a bit of string. Or was it quantum mechanics? I can't remember. Oh, we have a new fish person. Oh, where's it going? Hold the button. Oh, no. Here we go. Oh, oh. Trying to get away to you? Trying to get away, are you? No. Come on, bro. Yeah, you thought you were gonna get away. Was that a new fish? Yes. B. Ooh, I knew. Look at that pretty little thing. All right. Is that not everything? Wait, what? I'm confused. What just happened? Do I have to catch a brand new fish? Why is that white orb sitting right there, man? Wait, no you don't. Come on, man. Well, I mean, that fish turned into a lamp. Okay? It looked like a fish. I don't know how I feel about that, man. I mean, it's like, if it's a fish, it's a fish. If it's anything else like that bucket, I shouldn't have to fight with it, or I shouldn't see it. The fact that it looked like a fish and it was a bucket, man, that's a little weird. Just being real. Alright. Finish my dailies. Yes. Which leaves me to do something else. Forget what. An Ingram candidate. Well, you know what they say. If you side with the right corporation, they will take care of you. No one believes it. No one believes it. But then again, I believe in a monopoly, so I mean, at that point, you know. A benevolent, coexistent monopoly, where the subsidiaries technically can still do what they want within a parameter of commonly legality with terms of service, code of conduct, terms and conditions, right? The EU, the ELU, or whatever the hell it's called. End user license agreement, right? Technically, we should have a monopoly that is the world community. And then it branches out into all these other fucking companies. You know, like the ones that's for like preserving Earth. And everything's a subsidiary of preserving Earth. That type of monopoly. Alright. So, like I said, I won't be able to do this. Oh, wait. So, like, when you come down here... That's not the right thing. My bad. I clicked on the wrong damn thing. Sure, why not? That's too expensive. Gimme. Sure, why not? Definitely. I don't know what this is for. Is there anything else that's like a daily? Oh. No, I don't need it. Alright. Now. Now what? Damn. Am I missing anything? Oh yeah, that's right. I was talking about this. Like, when you do this right here, right? Does this stay here forever? And it just keeps accruing and going up over and over and over and over and over again, or does it after the day's over it disappears? Right? Sure, why not? Give me my loot. This one's a little too expensive. That's a little bit much. And this just seems like crap, guys. Like this item right here, this item is shit. It's complete shit. It is. It's complete shit. Just being real. I don't understand its purpose. What is this? Level 60. Okay, open. Alright, so go with the shoes. And then does that mean I can sell this? Dun 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 dun! Something like that, right? Box out my inventory. These are the most important things for the weekly, though, or the daily. You need to use 2 keys. You need to go do your Pioneer Bureau, and then you need to use your 400 stamina if you're capped. I'm not capped. I burned through all of it, so I'm good. Shouldn't getting level 60 have given me a gold trophy? I'm just being real. I mean, level 60 should have gotten me the gold trophy. Just being honest. I mean, I still couldn't make it to the boots unless I did something extraordinary, but it should have gotten me a gold trophy. So we're on 3. Oblivion combo, flash. I mean, overdrive, my bad. Not flash. Weekly limit. Weekly. All this stuff. Make a punch. Here comes the daily reset. T minus whatever. Soon. T minus soon. Yeah. Alright. So I wasn't able to do this. So let's see. We go here. We go to reclaim. It's probably these, right? So it didn't even go up. See, compensate related to this the Stidman vaults. Alright, so this, what is this? So where's my daily one? Where's the one for the dailies at? Shouldn't I have one for the dailies? I don't know, it seems a little weird. Like this? Like if I miss this, shouldn't I have one for this stuff? Right? 12K power level, you say. Make a punch. Make a punch. Make a punch. Bum, 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 bum. Huh? This shit fucking sold? Man. I didn't even realize it. So look at that. Damn, that's a lot of money. What am I gonna do with it? Go in here and purchase something I can't use that's about to get deleted? Why not? I need one more. I would need one more though. So like, I mean, because that's really the only thing I didn't do, right? See, right here. These right here. Yes, let's go. Let's go get one. Who cares? Where do we want to go under again? This is one I think that's sold. So let's get another one of these. Wait. This has 50. So let's go for another ticket. Then I'm gonna buy those tickets that are on sale. Dun, 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 dun. Sounds like some Zelda stuff about to happen right there. I don't know. Might not be able to get a ticket. Now that I think about it, can I buy it with whatever the coins I got? Or do I have to use real Luna? In the end, it really doesn't matter. In the end, it doesn't even matter. Poof. Shit. Shit. That's not what I wanted, man. Shit. I should be able to turn that into a ticket. Technically, I should be able to turn it into like 2 or 3 tickets. Technically. I wouldn't say 5 tickets, but I definitely need to be able to turn it into more than 1 ticket. Ain't gonna make it. And you're not getting no more money from me. For right now. Gotta do some proper adulting. Maybe I'll give you another $1 or something just so I can roll 10 more times. I didn't get a ticket. The game said, no, you don't need a ticket. I just opened that box and got that. Man, that makes me a little sad. Okay, so. Alright, so if we go back to here. So I can't even buy it with the bound coins. What type of shit is this, man? So I sell it and you get... So wait. So I sell something and you give me bound coins. Right? Did I not sell that? Hold on a second. I think I'm confusing myself. Oh. Shit. I was like, what the fuck, man? Aha! I'm broke. What am I gonna do? I have no fucking idea. Might not have wanted to do that. Who knows? Because I'm really not going to play anymore after today. I don't even think I'm going to play tomorrow because, like I said, there's nothing more I can do. I could run side quests, but I want to leave a little something that I haven't experienced for when the game launches. Because, like I said, oh no, I'm not gonna spend anymore. I've given them enough I've given them enough kickstarting funds that I shouldn't have because I disagree with the free-to-play motto. Like, I don't mind giving them money. I don't mind giving a company money, but I disagree with the free-to-play motto, and I shouldn't be donating to a free-to-play motto because I don't like it. But I still do. Because the free-to-play motto creates discrepancies in game development and mechanical direction. And then it creates a toxic community of, it's not fair. Fuck that. That's what the free-to-play model is, somebody complaining about it not being fair. That's why I don't like the free-to-play model. Because if you're not paying for it, you have no right to complain about it. None whatsoever. If you paid for the product, you have a right to complain about it. But if you haven't paid for the product, like the whole Tekken 8 Season 2 fiasco. If you paid for the season... if you paid for Season 2 Pass and you bought Tekken, if you actually bought the real fucking... I'm not talking about this, I have it on Game Pass type shit. No, if you physically bought that game, not rented that game, not subscribe to a service so you can gain access to the game. I mean, if you have physically bought that, if you physically spent $60 on Tekken 8 and you are upset with Season 2, you have a right to complain about it. If you're playing it for free, if you're playing a game for free, or you're using a subscription base to gain access to it for free, technically. It's not free, but technically it's for free. It's an incentive so they can get a monthly membership out of you so you can play all these bullshit games, but you technically don't own them. Yeah. Unless you physically own the fucking license to the game. Permanently, not this, well, I own a limited license that once my monthly subscription wears off, I don't have that license anymore. You're renting the license at that point. You don't own the license. If you have a physical copy of the game, you own the license to that game. The problem is a lot of games have to where you need to purposefully connect online in order to play them, like Destiny or only one that I can think of off the top of my head is Destiny. You cannot play that game offline. You have to connect online to play that game. And it's not a subscription-based game. It's a buy the game and play the game type shit, right? I mean, like, as I was playing Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, I was researching it. As long as you have a physical copy of that game and you put it in your PlayStation, if PSN goes down, you can still play that fucking game. You have to have a physical copy so the system checks your license and loads the game. You have the physical license on that disc. It's burned on that disc. The registration code is burned on that disc. I mean, making it to where you get a registration code key, the license, a key. I mean, that's great for one system, but if you lose that system that it's installed on, or if you lose access to the user that has that thing, then you're gonna have an issue. That's why having the physical copy always put in a disk drive is always the best bet to do. Problem is it takes up a lot of space. So if you want to get technical, the people that are technically doing it right would be Nintendo, right? To where you had where their Switch games in one box, you could put like, I don't know how many you could put in that box, but like I would go to Nintendo and I'd be like, hey Nintendo, can you make me a box that fits however many fucking cartridges you can put in that box? So I can put like 12 games in that box, because it takes up too much physical space. So I understand the need to try to get off of the physical, but you're going to need the backup copy, and the backup copy has to be a physical copy. It can't be a digital one. Because as long as you store the physical copy properly in an ideal environment, then it'll last forever. A digital one, you really can't say that. You could, but data gets corrupted all the time due to user intervention, so technically it's not safe. But that autonomous physical data you have is not attached to anything, and it's in a closed system, so it'll work as long as the hardware that the software is put on does not get physically distorted. You don't have to worry about the data getting corrupted on there. You have to worry about the hardware getting fucked so you can't read the data. That's not the same thing. That's not the same thing as a virus getting into the cloud and corrupting a data save file, right? You can't do that to a hard copy. I mean, you say that the sun could destroy a CD if you left it outside and at it, right? That's true, but that's not the same thing. The preventative measures of keeping a physical copy safe is a hell of a lot more effective than a digital copy. But like I said, physical copies take up space. Meow. I need one more, man. I need one more. Give me my fishing pole. And my wings. Because well, technically I would still need 10 more, because this is what I would be trying to get. But I could still color this. So dynamic. I can't be a proper Talamami if I don't get this outfit. But then I would need one more, because I'd have to get the wings, right? I mean, they just go so well with this outfit. So I mean, I probably would. I'd probably get the wings, and then I would get this outfit. But I would actually go for this one, because it has the flowers on it. Why do you keep forcing me to watch that over and over again? There should be like a button right here that says skip the animations when you click on this shit. And I should be able to click on it and make sure doesn't do that anymore. I need 6 of these. Man. Like I said, I don't really feel like playing anymore. And it's not that I don't feel like playing anymore, because there's not something to do. It's because no matter what I do, it's gonna be reset anyway. So like the only thing I can really do right now is actually do review for the last time I can play, right? And like I said, that depends. The movement system is on point right here. This shit's on point. You know, I mean, technically, if I could Spider-Man that'd be pretty fucking cool. But this is wrong. This is good. The cooldown's too bad. I should be able to jump out of it like that. I should be able to jump out of it like that. I should be able to oh, this right here takes too much stamina to do. What should be taking stamina is this. I can't even do it in town. Is the glide thing, and I should be able to actually pick what direction I want to go by aiming. Because it's the same thing with this. If I jump the mount is kind of shit. I don't like how it turns. I don't like it turns like crap. The skills are lackluster. In my opinion, they should really be attack so we can do combat on mount. Like at least attack with a mount and then jump off, and as we attack the mount, like as we okay, first this is what I'm talking about. I should be able to aim up and drive up and down, and that's how when you're gliding like this, and then you hit the the left mouse button, you start diving. I should be able to control that, and that's how much it should take. This amount of stamina. This right here shouldn't take that much stamina. It should take more than this. But realistically, these two should take the exact same amount. They should take the exact same amount. Both of these should take the exact same amount of stamina. So if you wanted to make this one, how much stamina this one takes, go up, and then lower how much stamina this one takes, that would be acceptable, in my opinion. Because like I said, at that point, when you hit the left trigger and you dive, I can always edit it out later, so it's not that big of a deal. Alright, so we're back again. When you edit it out, in any case, we're back again. When you jump in the air and you glide, that takes way too much stamina. It should take the same amount of stamina as this. So this one should go up, and this one should go down. If you want to get the proper compromise in the movement system. This one right here should take less stamina, but this one should, but the glide should cost. I'm hitting one. My bad. See, I don't. If I'm not in combat, I don't think I should lose stamina. That's just my opinion. But I can't test. I can't test the glide properly. I can't test this in town. Can I not? Why can't I die? Oh, I dived that time. Like, I mean, so I should be able to jump out of that. Do I have to be so high or something? I'm not understanding. Right, this. I should be able to fly with this crap. And that's what should cost this much stamina. Right? That should cost this much stamina. Like I said, not being able to jump out of that and, like, that's how it should function, in my opinion, right? And so at that point, what I would do is I would lower the cooldown on the Phantom Dash to, like, 10 seconds. And I'd give it 2 charges. So that way you don't have to necessarily, as soon as you land, you can hit the dash button, the Phantom Dash button, right? As soon as it gets back up. So you could, as soon as you hit the Phantom Dash button, you could jump, and it wouldn't waste your second Phantom Dash. It would still be there, but it would be a 10-second cooldown, right? So you don't technically get 2 back-to-back all the time. You do have 2. And you can interchange them with this system right here, right? On top of that, I should be able to swing while I'm in the air, right? And nothing should kill my momentum. Like, the main issue I have is if I run up stuff, it kills my momentum. Like, horribly bad. I mean, and that's fine, but that's mainly the reason why it's bad is because I can't do the phantom dash in the air. If I could do the phantom dash in the air and the system worked like that, then I could run up this wall, and when I hit the top, I hit the dash, shoot forward, and then continue my jumping, right? And that like I said, that would help with the fluidity of the system. And like I said, being able to cancel all of this stuff with an attack, you know, if the attack kills momentum, that's fine, you know, because that's no different than me running up this wall right here and doing that. I should be able to dash so I don't get stuck in animation, right? But I mean, I should be able to start swinging while I'm in the air, right? Animation cancel is important on everything for fluidity. Because if you don't have animation cancel built into the whole system, it's not fluent, and people are allowed to cheese the system off of a memorizational muscle memory than actually adapting in the moment. Because if you allowed to, it would, because the where we're sitting at right now is the enemies they attack us in set telegraphed patterns that we can easily predict how to deal with it, right? Oh, he's gonna do that. I'll just get out of the way of it, right? But if you make it to where we can dodge all the time, then that means that those three attacks, he never has to do all three of those attacks. He only has to do one. He can fake it and only do one, because if we can cancel our animations, then it makes them a little bit harder, because then we can't technically predict what they're going to do, because he's not always going to swing 3 times. He might only swing twice, but it'll make it more fluid, because you'd be attacking, and then you see he's about to swing, and then you dodge, and then you see, and then you wait, and you're like, okay, he's not going to attack again, so you start to swing, and you see he's about to attack, actually do the second attack, and then you dodge, because you can cancel out of your swing, right? And it helps with fluidity of combat and less predictability, algorithmic outcome, to balance it that way. I'm not disputing the fact that in like Soul Calibur or Tekken, when you block something, you're stun locked. I'm disputing the fact that, or when you block something, I'm stun locked. Like, I attack you and then I hit you and I'm in animation recovery, right? But that's all the way up to the point of the attack activating, right? So if I come up and as soon as my attack hits this tree, I'm stuck to that animation. But I cancel it at any moment before then, or even change it to something else. Cancel it from normal cancels, super cancels, and ultimate cancels are super important, and you need to be turned on in the debug mode. That's what made Third Strike the best Street Fighter game I've ever played. It had a debug mode. You could go on and turn air guard on. You could turn air throw on. You could throw blocking or air guard. You could turn on all the cancels, right? To where you weren't forced to do a custom combo that is such tight frames, you're going to drop it in fucking lag. You could just say, I'm going to hit this button, this button, this button, this button. It's going to do that without you having to worry about comboing it together. It's going to do it at its earliest frame, and if it's a combo, it's going to work, and if it's not, they're going to be able to block. That's a normal cancel. I mean, because at that point, if you have it set up like that, the PvP system in this game would be technically on point, but because then you would have like CCs and shit to worry about. But if you know the character you're fighting, when you see them about to do that CC, then you would just dodge out of the way of it, right? But at that point, it also means that CC should not have a really long cooldown, because it's like you gotta mix it into where it's not predictable, right? Or you wait until you see that I'm about to do this shit right here, and then you hit me with a CC because you saw me do that. A big ramp up attack. I mean, I don't know, man. I think this. I think the mechanical system of this game is at base is very good, but it needs a little bit of revision. The targeting is kind of on mouse and keyboard is kind of bad. I don't know how to change targets. Maybe I just overlooked it because I don't normally look at controls. See, lock on target right here, but where's switch target at? Is it this button? So you hit tab, and then you use the mouse. Or does that well, see, that doesn't switch. Like, so that's my point is, like, swapping targets in mid combat's pretty bad, because like if I'm fighting a boss, and then all of a sudden an ad spawns that I need to take care of, I need to be able to just swap to that target. Maybe it'll work, right? I don't know. I need to find two. So like, so like I target this one, right? And then if I press it again, I mean, like, why not just make it to where when I'm locked on target, zooming in and out swaps the... If I go up, it shuffles through the targets going right, and if I roll down, then it shuffles to the targets going left. Right? Tab targeting is always ideal, but you don't have the tab targeting. I mean, it's not like I can't just tab, 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 tab. My bad. You saw nothing. It wasn't intentional, I swear. It's okay. They'll respawn in a second. I'll revive them. I'm a good healer. Adam generally is. But yeah, so like, there's no target swapping, man. And I need to be able to swap targets without, like, doing this. Right? I need to be able to swap targets without doing this. See that? Like, your tab targeting needs work, man. It needs fucking work, man. Like I said, the targeting system that's used on like Dark Souls and stuff, where you lock on and then you can swap, like you lose control of your being able to control your camera because you're locked on target. But using whatever controls your camera causes you to shift targets. In this case, it would be rolling the mouse wheel, not actually moving your camera, right? But I mean, honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know, man. The targeting system needs work for sure. Discussed it before with the wardrobe. The outfits all need to be able to be dyed. You should need to add, if there's 12 different things, you need to add 12 different things on here. Like, it would be nice if I could actually always color the embroiders or the accents. Like, I can't color this right here. I can't color this right here. I can't color any of this right here. And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with Lock not being able to color everything, because like I said, you force us into a palette, which means you're hurting your own self by not allowing us to fully color everything. Because if we can color everything, that means we would buy more stuff and color more stuff, because we can color it to our liking. So now we're buying what we think looks cool, helping your art team develop more properly fashion trends, right? You know, but if I can't color this red thing right here, then it's like, well, then I have to use red in my color scheme, and that's not good. But if I can, and well, so let's just say we get to this stuff right here. Like, if I can't color everything on here, right, and everything on here is black, like this right here kind of gets a little agitating, but this is different materials, so that's aesthetically okay that it's not coloring the exact same thing. But it needs to be colored. if you're basing how you can color that material because you don't want us to wear nude colored underwear, that's fine. Make it a little bit off color, but the point is that it still needs to be able to be colored, right? That way I can use this with anything. If I can't color it, if a piece of this doesn't color, like this right here, like if it doesn't color, right, if something of it doesn't color, this gold right here, that means I have to match everything to this gold right here. So there needs to be a fourth one that makes this color black. Even if it's a metal black, a black metal, right? It still needs to be black. It still needs to be able to be colored, because now I might not, because now if I find something else that I possibly can't color like that, right? Right. So this color's right. I mean, like, I could go through all of this stuff and be like, this color's wrong, this color's wrong, this color's wrong. Now, that would be a thorough test. No one else does it. I mean, it's kind of like this. I can't color this thing at all, so less people are going to buy this, not because it doesn't look cool, but because they can't get it to match their outfit. Right? And this is a character, so if his ears... I mean, like, I don't know, because at that point, I technically should be able to color this thing whatever color I want. Right? It shouldn't matter at that point. See, the fact that I can't, because I can't color this metal right here, I have to match this color scheme to this color right here. So if I'm wearing glasses or something, the metal would I would match the metal to this color instead of what I want to make it look like, which is match a color scheme. Right? So so this is wrong. There needs to be a fifth one that implements these buttons on it and the clasps and stuff like that, right? All of this. So this is wrong. This is the problem I have with your coloring system. Other than that, what you can do with it, it's better than the hairstyles. The hair coloring is more pastel and bland and less saturated. It's not, I mean, the hair color needs more saturation. That's the wrong button, my bad. The hair color needs more saturation. This bar needs to go further to the right. It needs to go further to the right. Because you cannot get an actual red. You can't get a red. That's how I know this bar, this needs to be revised. I cannot get a red. So it's either this is set to like 6 or 7 on saturation and it needs to be set to 9. And then this box is fine, but the point is this, you can't, like, adding the saturation and brightness, because this is brightness, right? This is I think this is brightness and this is saturation, right? But then adding an extra toggle to increase to intensify the saturation like they do on Soul Calibur. That's how I would do it, to where you can up it from 1 to 10 and it'll act like a slider to where you can turn this shit up, because I want to make a red and there's no red. Because technically her hair is, I'm trying to think, because it's like an orange. I can't make it because I can't go far enough over. I can, like it doesn't exist because I can't go far enough over. Right? This would be kind of close, but it's still not quite right because I can't go far enough over. So, I mean, that, like I said, we already discussed the mounts. These skills need to be used where, like, I'm flying in there and then I dive bomb on them and then land on them and do an AoE and jump off my mount when I do it, type shit, right? Kind of like how Diablo 4 does. You ride the mount and you hit a button and then it causes you to jump off of it. As well as they really need to have this movement system right here, or this movement system right here, implemented into the system. And now that I'm thinking about it, you could make it to where outside of combat, your stamina. Okay, so say inside of combat, this is how fast your stamina goes down, right? While you're in combat, and when you're outside of combat, it's reduced by like 20% or something like that. So technically, increase or decrease how fast you lose stamina outside of combat by 20%. Set that at base, and then when you get into combat, make it to where your stamina cost goes up by 20%. Or something like that. That probably would be a decent way of doing it. Because like I said, and then besides that, the guilds, I really shouldn't need 10 people to start a guild. 10 people is too much. Maybe 5. Right? Because you would have to look at it in the aspect that it would be a progressional thing, right? So at this point, it's like you get 5 people, and now you can get your check-in, right? And then if you get 5 more people, you can do this and this, right? And then if you get 20 more people, you can do this. So it's like if you made it to where like this is 5 people, right? This one right here is 5 people. This one right here is 10 people. This one's 20 people. This one's like, I'd say I don't know how you would do it, but the point is you would want it to be a progression system, and having to need 10 people to do this one, and this one's kind of shit. This should be 5 people, and then you have 10 people, and then you have 30 people, right? So like this is 5, and this would be 5, and then you would get 5 more people, and then you could do this one. But the fact that I can't even get in here to be like to start actually ramping up this gain so people are willing to join me so they can buy the stamina potion, because you have to be in a level 3 guild in order to get one, so there's no incentive for them to join me if I'm not leveled. So you putting the hard cap on 10 is fucking extreme. That is extreme, man. I mean, I'd say 3 people, because at least if I made alts, I can at least start the guild, and anybody that wants to join can join. Because now they don't have to worry about, well, damn, they need 7 more people, and you know, I'm just gonna join when it already has a guild a guild center made. Then, like I said, this right here is bad. This is the only thing really bad that I've seen with this system. Other than that, I mean, everything else seems on point. I mean, I can't go check and show you about it, but everything else seems like it's on point, right? It all seems like it's on point. Like I said, I couldn't test this because I didn't join a guild. But I'm sure this is functioning. I'm sure it's functioning. But I don't know if it's. I mean, it probably needs revision. It's probably functioning right. It just probably needs some revision. The season pass, I would say this is pretty cool. I like this system right here. The season pass seems okay. I will always say that you ask a little bit too much for people that want to buy it all and be done with it, right? Because at that point, it's like you could add in here, buy 5 levels for a discount, buy 10 levels for a discount, buy 20 levels for a discount, buy 30 levels for a discount. You could do the exact same thing you do on this, right? To where, okay, well, if you buy 20 levels, we'll give you a discount, but you put it over here in the season pass in the advanced level, right? So you get the advanced one that's like this, and you get this one like this, and then it's like you want to buy 5 levels for a discount, 10, like that way people will be like, because this leveling this up right here, that's too expensive, man. That's too expensive. It might not be. I'd have to check it again and see. But I think it's too expensive, honestly. Yeah, this is too expensive. It's way too expensive, man. This should be like 25 cents or something like that, dude. Like, this shit's too expensive, man. This is it's like $5 or something. It's like $2.50. Like it's too expensive, man. Like this is with every game. Leveling up, purchasing a level of your battle pass. This fucking shit's too expensive, man. Way too expensive. I mean, to the degree that it's like, you know, you get the privileges. I like this. This is great. The privileges are great. This is awesome. But realistically, I don't know how I feel about the privileges costing $20. Well, an extra $10 for privileges. But I mean, like, because technically I would say this needs to be like $15, right? I mean, you could come in here and you could take away like 2 stamina potions and drop off like 50k from here, right? And then put this down to $15, right? That's what I would do. This is a little too expensive. $15 is okay because you have to think that's a month. That's because you have to also take into consideration that we're also getting this for $5. So it's like, if you're like, hey, if you buy 3 months of this, you can buy the Supreme thing for a discount if you have 3 months activated, right? Because I've already put $15 in it, and now you're gonna ask for another $19 for a month, $20. So you want $35 from me a month? That's a bit steep, man. Most people are only willing to pay $15 a month for something. Bare minimum. And you want 20. You're like, well, you just have to buy this one. No, because of this right here. So you're telling me that I don't even get the proper subscription bonuses unless I give you $10 more. That's a problem, man. This is a problem. So, like, if I buy this, if I buy this and I actually buy this, there should be something down here that means that anything else that I buy with money is discounted. You know, whether it's this is discounted by 20%, all of this shit is discounted by 20%. Anything I spend money on is discounted because you want $20 plus $5, right? You want $25 a month. You want $15 to $25 a month. I mean, that's a bit extreme, in my opinion. I mean, that's you want $60 every 3 months. Right, 15, oh wait, my bad. 20 times 3. No wait, that's not true. The season, wait, hold up. Because the season pass, how long does this shit last? Is it 3 months? 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so yeah, so never, maybe I am wrong. So this is a 3-month subscription for $20. So another another 15. So 40. You want $45 in 3 months. That's still a little high. It should be like $30 every 3 months. Spending $60 every 6 months on a video game is about where people are sitting at. Most people are buying about 3 video games a year at full price. So at most people yearly are only going to spend $180 on video games. Generally. Like, if I calculate, if I look at all the games that are coming out, there's generally only about 3 games every year that come out that I really want to play. And if there's not one of those 3 games, well, guess what? That $60 can go here. That type of stuff, right? So it's like... See, even down here, look at this. You only give me these privileges for 29 days? This is shit. This should be for 30... These privileges should be for 30 days, but technically I'm going to finish the battle pass if I have these privileges going. But if I'm not playing every day, you would need these to all last 30 days. Or all last the full extent of the battle pass. This number should match the full extent of the battle pass. Not this... Well, you have to log on to get these rewards, or we're going to take it away from you. You don't get these coins unless you log in every day. What? That's kind of stupid. It truly is. I mean, it's kind of stupid. But, so that's about where I'm sitting at on that. So, like I said, it's a little too expensive. I would probably lower it to like 15 bucks. And like I said, lower it to about 15 bucks, maybe reduce... Maybe reduce how much Luno and stamina potions you get. Increase these up, lower it to 15 bucks. And then that's where you would be sitting at. Because like I said, that's like... the value of this... I wouldn't say is inherently bad, but for an initial cost, it's too high. Because most people are buying it for this stuff right here and this stuff right here, not this shit right here. This right here, yes. This is what pisses me off. This shit right here should not be here. Nothing. I should not have to spend $20 to get a stamp collection of this. Now, if at some point you eventually put this in the game as a loot box type thing, then this is acceptable to put here. But if you're not going to re-implement this item right here into the game ever again, then this shit should not be here. If this is a time-limited exclusive bullshit that should not exist, I cannot stand time-limited exclusivity. It should not be up here. It should be down here. Or it should go into a loot box later. What else is there? The finishing a dungeon, there should be an option to leave without your party, so you can leave the dungeon and the party at the same time. What else is there? The cutscenes and stuff, the ones that just show a black screen with text, those are too hard to read too quickly. The voice, the on-screen pop-up voice lines that technically probably should have a voice lines, those generally are rushed pretty quickly. They're not on the screen long enough to read. I'm dyslexic, so as a dyslexic person, they're not on as accessibility. They're not on the screen long enough. There's a lot of typos in the story. I'd have to go back and find them all. The overall story itself, I think, is good. Artistically, the game is good. I don't like how you're being lazy with some of the items. That's the wrong thing. I cannot stand clipping. You are being lazy. Oh, I forgot to say the crown. The crown needs to be. You need to be able to move, like have a slider to where I can reposition this to match my haircut, my hairstyle. There is. But like I said, I don't like clipping. Clipping is the worst thing. You are being lazy. You're being extraordinarily lazy with your rigging. And no, shame on you. Just complete utter shame on you. I actually have to save all of that. There should be a confirm all on here. I should not have to say, I mean, like, this save should work no matter what menu I'm in. See, I don't know what's not saved. There's proof that this system needs work. I mean, I'd like to have presets, costumes that I can save, so I don't have to keep clicking on shit like this. It's excessive. It'd be nice if I could actually move this somewhere. But like I said, you're being lazy with your rigging. I'm just being real. Extraordinarily lazy with your rigging. My leg should not be coming through my skirt. My knees popping through my skirt right there should not be doing that. You're being lazy with your rigging. Because the reason why it shouldn't be doing that is because of the emotes. The emotes themselves are not bad. Like, this right here should not be happening. This is the shit I'm talking about. This shit right here should not be happening. Meaning this skirt right here is shit. In this pose. I would never, like, so now there's no incentive for me to buy this emote and this dress. Because they don't work together. I can hide it. That's true. You can use some faking. You can fake it. You sure can fake it, right? You can fake it. Right? You can. But this shit right here, you can't tell me that you can't design this a little bit better. Maybe you can't. Maybe it's too hard to make the fabric fold that way. Right? But when you have hair that can move like this, and you have a hitbox that knows when there's detection, you can't tell me that you can't create some type of hitbox around me that my outfit complies to. This hits this, causes it to move. This hits this, causes it to move. Right? You can't tell me that it's not possible. How you would do it, I don't know. I'm not that tech savvy. I don't know how programming works. But my legs coming through this outfit makes this dress bad. That's why I don't wear dresses. They clip astronomically horribly for the most part. So, what else is there? That's the problem. That's the only real problem I have with the emotes. The emotes themselves are fine. This is pretty neat. The photo wall's neat. The titles are cool. Being able to pick the same name. Love that crap. I hate how I can't have a name because someone else has it. I like the nickname. The nickname's actually really cool. The leveling system of the gear is not bad. I don't think it's that. I think it's pretty good. Like I said, the only problem I technically see is that these are completely fucking useless. I mean, just for real, they seem completely bad. There's no reason for them. So you need to make it like, that's not saying that later they won't be more required, because you'll add higher level dungeons that'll have extra gear that we have to get, right? Where we're going to actually use more than 20 of these, right? Or maybe 20 of them, but that's not saying that this currency is completely, has no value in my opinion. This one right here. The banners, like I said, this stuff needs to be consolidated all into one box, and you need to add like a die box in here. You need to take the material boxes, the material boxes, and you need to put them in the Will Wish banner. The like what I was discussing with this right here, you could take these and start throwing them in the banner, right? Or a banner, like season pass items you might have missed, right? Start throwing them in a banner, and then of course when the loot pool gets a little bit oversaturated, then create another one for past season pass items that you have to RNG for. What else is there? I find it strange that there's this stuff's in here for the mount, but that's only because there's not a lot of it. The life skill system seems okay. I can't say there's anything truly bad about it. I will say that dealing with die seems a little rough. It seems a little bit. The system is bad. The die system needs work. Everything else seemed okay though. Fishing seemed fine. The monster hunts seemed fine. The elites, once you get up high enough, they do too much damage for DPSs to survive it and solo it. So the elites probably need to either one, have their health pool reduced, or two, have how much damage they do reduced, or well, and this needs to have a lower cooldown on it than 60 seconds. It needs to be like 20 seconds or something like that. This shit needs to be a lot lower than what it is. Most some potion game, I would never say lower it below 3 seconds. This should never go below 3 seconds, but you could do it to where the higher tier one, I think I might have a blue one. It has a lower cooldown on it. So like this one has a lower cooldown on it than the green one. So the higher tier you go, the less the cooldown on it is. But I still think 60 seconds is too long. So maybe do this one at 30 seconds, do the blue one at 20 seconds, and then do the purple one at 10 seconds. Something like that, possibly. The cooldown's too low for a DPS to go and solo an elite. Because if I want to spend the resources, right? So if you and that would also make it to where you could put it in here. I don't know if it is in here, or if you craft it. I have a problem with that system right there. I can't stand it. If I buy something, if I buy this right here, I don't have enough and I buy it, then it should automatically purchase it for me. Why is it doing this? This doesn't make sense why it's doing this. I don't think these are worth. I don't think these have value. This does somewhat. These I think you should be allowed to buy individual pieces. I don't like bundles. Bundles are kind of shit. This right here, though, this type of bundle, though, I can kind of get behind because it's the same thing as the season banner, right? So this one makes sense, but the other one does not make sense. Like this right here, I should be able to buy this stuff separately because it's not. I don't need a banner to get it. I can only buy it here. So I mean, like, and this right here is fine, but I need to be able to buy these separately at an inflated cost. So I mean, this costs right now. It says it's 26,000 or 2,680. But if I was to buy each one of these by themselves, this might cost me 1,500, and this might cost me 1,500. So if I was to buy them individually, it would cost me 3,000, and I wouldn't get these 2 extra bonuses, right? So that's how bundles should be done, in my opinion, because it helps marketing data being like, oh well, people bought the helmet from this, but they didn't buy the body piece for this, meaning that, oh, maybe they bought the helmet because it has animation to it, right? It gives you creative direction on where to take your fashion towards, right? So it's like this. I mean, I don't like this part down here. I think the helmet's cool, the gloves are cool, and the boots are cool. But the fact that this piece right here, this whole piece right here, I don't like the fact that this is. I don't like connected pieces. I want individual, like completely individual pieces like this. This is what I want. This is ideal to me. I'm not saying that this doesn't have merit, like an actual set, but ideally, this is what you want, because, and you want to make sure that you can color every single thing, the metal, the leather, the fabric, anything, all the shoes and stuff like that. You would want to make sure you can color everything, right? And have individual pieces. Not like I buy this and I can't color the frames or the lenses. No, that hurts with the purpose of what you're trying to do, which is make money off of fashion. And if you make it, and if you put limitations like you can't color this, or you wearing this, now you can't put on leg pieces. I'd use this body, but I'm not too fond of the leggings and the pants, right? You know. So it's like, it's one thing to I mean, forcing a set on us is kind of bad. If it's a full body set, like a full outfit, like this, that's fine. But when you do it like this, to where one piece takes up 2 slots, that's kind of shit, in my opinion. And it's still kind of shit to do this, because maybe I want to wear these boots, or maybe I want to wear a snowman hat, right? Or maybe I want to wear this scarf by itself, or I want to wear the snowman body by itself, or, you know, this little wee hat up here. So, I mean, like, not having all of this stuff separated, it hurts people buying it, and then forcing them to buy the bundle at an inflated cost when they only want the boots of this, right? Why would, I mean, they'd pay you for the boots even at an inflated cost, but they don't want this other shit, so they can't justify giving you this much money. Bundles are bad. I don't care how big of a discount you give them. They're bad because they stifle marketing data on a fashion trend. They're bad. Mounts seem okay. This stuff seems okay. I don't know about the pricing on it. They might be a little bit too high, but I still think that, like I said before, this should be a 1-to-1 ratio, and all of this should be 20%. Like, all of it should be 20%, right? Because it's like, if people are only willing to give you so much money in a burst impulsive payment, then you should not degrade this person's dollar to this person's dollar, right? If people are willing to pay you in advance for something like this, to where you get these privileges right here, then okay, then you can make it to where if you have a battle pass running, if you have the monthly card running and you have the battle pass running, if you have the monthly card running, then all of these numbers go up by 5%. And then if you have the battle pass running, the premium battle pass running, the premium pass running, it goes up by another 5%. No, if you have the regular battle pass running, it goes up by another 5%. And then if you have the advanced one for the $19, then it goes up to another 5%, right? So that then you can make it to where the people that are the people's money that you value the most are the people that are supporting you with R&D development in advance. They're giving you that $40. They're giving you $100, so you can take $40 of that and provide 1 year's worth of service to them, right? Like I said, asking for $60 for a year is pretty steep with how many different things out there are. If you lower the cost, you might not make the annual revenue of all of the impulsive big guys out there that people are just, that's just what they like, and they're already all in on it. But if you lower it, you can drag those people that are all in out on other things, and they'll come over and spend on your platform. Meaning that the value will technically go the value of what you're producing will technically go up, albeit not as drastically as an impulsive buy scenario, right? Like the first time purchase, right? And I believe the first time purchase should match both of these put together as well. But yeah, this needs to be a 1-to-1 ratio, and this should always be 20%. This, like I said, this $1 is just as important as this $100. And anyone that says differently is full of shit. Now, but this $5, in my opinion, this $5 right here, or this $15 right here, is worth way more than this $15 right here. This is Patreon shit right here. This is Patreon shit right here. This is dedicated consumers right here. So this right here and the season pass, that $20 on that season pass, in my opinion, is probably worth at least more than this $30. It might even be equivalent to about this $50 right here. But it's at least worth more than this one. And that, like I said, you shouldn't degrade the dollar value of impulsive buy like you are doing. This is a problem. That's why I say that this needs to be a 1-to-1 ratio. I don't care what region you're in. 1 yen for 1 rose orb, 1 cent for 1 rose orb, 1 pint for 1 rose orb. I don't care what region, because that means, like I said, because that means the denominations of that region will match the value that it is. Not this. Well, in the EU, it actually costs 129.99 because versus the US dollar, no. It costs $99.99 no matter where the fuck you are. 1-to-1 ratio. Just because your peso is worth less does not fucking mean that 1 peso should not equal 1 rose orb. That is real fucking money being wasted on a tangible, an untangible digital good. That's a no-no. I'm sorry, I disagree with that. What else is there? Oh yes, the trade center. These, I should be able to set prices of this stuff. I should be able to click on it and view what this shit is, even if there's none on here, right? So that way I can go over here and see, what is this? Well, I suppose I could, right? But I can't do it here. Maybe it's because I'm following it. Let's go find out. Yeah, see, like that worked okay, right? So when I went over to the appearance and I clicked on this, it pulled this up, right? But that's because there's one on sale, and then I can view it. I should be able to click on this and view it without it being on sale. I should be able to click on anything that's not on sale and still be able to view it. See what it is. What the hell is this shit again? I forgot. It hasn't been on sale in forever. Do I need to keep it here? You also need to my bad. Like, it would be to be able to set all of this stuff. as a choice of what currency you want to get. Because I'm out of this right now, but maybe I want to sell. Maybe I want to sell something for this to get Luno, right? Or I'm out of this right now. Maybe I want to take one of these and sell it for 5 of these, right? Or take one of these and sell it for 1 or 2 of these, right? Or take it and sell it for 5,000 of this, and only 2,000 of this, or something like that. Like I should be able to come over here. And be able to switch between this. Right? This taking Luno is whatever. It's kind of stupid. Technically, it should take this Luno. It should take bound Luno, not fee. You could make it to where one of them is Luno and one of them is the bound Luno, but you would want to pull both of them out. The fact that you're not pulling this out is a problem. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to find it. But, like, I should be able to change this to a different set of currency. Not just Luno. Bound Luno at that. Or regular Luno at that. Or whatever. I don't know. I mean, because what am I supposed to use this on, man? What else is there? This seems like it's functioning all right. Because, like I said, you shouldn't be able to get this for free. Like, you should be able to turn this into these, and you should be able to turn this into these, but nothing can be turned into this. This is the premium real dollar value, and nothing can distort this value. The only thing that can distort this value, like I said, is cells. So, like I was stating before, this right here, this is not a good example because this is 90% off. Let me go find a better one. Apparently there isn't a better one because nothing's on sale right now. Well, I bought all the stuff that was on sale. Ooh, I can refresh. I didn't know you could do that. So, like I said, so this should have 50 next to it, and then right next to it should have a circle that says 40, to where it only costs 40 of these. That's how sales should. That's how it should work. This should always be worth more than this. Always. It took real money to generate this item. This, you just ran around and opened up a chest and happened to get one. So this shit should always be less in value. And how much you want to put that on is how much you want to put that on. Right? So it's like, at that point, it's like, well, if you want to buy this with bound coins, it's going to cost you 500. But if you want to buy this with unbound coins or real premium rose orbs, then it would cost 400. Though I still think this is a little too expensive for something that's a one-time use. The the cost of this isn't bad. All of this stuff seems fine. This is too expensive for sure. It needs to be like 150 or 200. I'm not sure. Emotes fine. I mean, everything else seems fine. Off the top of my head, at least. So that's all that. The handbook, this is pretty neat. Hopefully you do more. This is probably going to be, I'm assuming, your event page, where this week this is the event page, and then on here, this was cool. This is neat. This is a good progression. Hey, go do this or look at this and see what you've done. The preview, I kind of think this is crap. Not really sure what it's for. I still think it's kind of crap. But then again, it also says when it opens. So if this is like the new dungeon is open, then you come in here, it's like, hey, the new dungeon's open. Because you have like you have this type of stuff right here to where it's like doesn't open for 26 days, right? So and then at the 26-day mark, it'll pop up saying, "Hey, the new tier of crafting levels have unlocked. Go check it out." That type of stuff. The talent tree. The only thing I have a problem with is, or on this class specifically, is that when I pick the Iaido stance, anything that uses a scythe should use my sword. And the same thing with if you pick the scythe stance, anything that uses anything that uses the sword should actually look like a scythe. Like, so when this is like picking a skin for your animations, in my opinion, to where up here you're locked into having both of them. But as soon as you pick this, all of the animations will be a sword, or all of the animations will be a scythe. That's how I would do it. That's the only real problem I have with the system itself. I originally stated that this was a problem, and then I understood what it meant, which means I read it wrong. So this one's actually not too bad. I think we need at levels if you're capping us at 60, I think we need like 3 more skill points to make a proper build. Like I said, we don't have the modules yet, so I don't know if that'll make up for the lack of the skill points. So technically, if we did have the modules, it might actually cause because we're not doing enough damage at our level, in my opinion. It's either we're not doing enough damage or the boss has too much HP. And normally I would say it's the boss that has too much HP, then our modifier not be working properly. Scale back take every single enemy in this game and reduce their HP by like 5%, some shit like that, basically. The possibly 10% on elites and bosses. Normal mobs, maybe 5%, but elites, at least maybe 10%. And bosses, if you wanted to argue you wouldn't adjust bosses, then I'd kind of say, okay, whatever. But I think the bosses should also get the same 10. They should be treated like an elite and also get HP reduction. Because it's easier to reduce their HP than it is to fuck with a modifier that's going to completely break how we go through the game. Yeah, like I said, in my opinion, from scaling, you should always bring us up and bring the opponents down, right? Because at that point, it's easier to bring them down and be like, okay, that's almost there. Let's bring everybody up a little bit, than to say, okay, we're just gonna bring them up and pull them up here, and then we're destroying like that little bitty board just gets deleted. Versus, you know, the bigger boar taking 20 minutes to be defeated, or vice versa, where the big boar you just delete the big boar, and you wouldn't want to do that. Deleting this dude versus deleting this dude is a little bit fucking different, right? This is rank and file. This is elite type stuff, and then you have like what's above elite. I don't know. It'd be like named mobs or some shit like that, and then boss mobs, right? The guys that are the leaders, right? There'd be a hierarchy. But it feels like our damage is too low. Being honest, it does. If we're supposed to be at level at floor 20, and it could just be that crabs that they go under that mechanic of it going underground needs to be adjusted, because there are some bosses that they do AoEs and you can't even see the AoE, it's missing, or you're getting one shot and you don't know why, from like the Tempest Ogre. He just one shot at me and I couldn't figure out why, because I wasn't seeing AoE. I could see the animation of him attacking, and then I died. So it's like he was charging up, and then the energy blast from his awesomeness deleted me. I was like, whatever. I didn't know what was happening. And like I said, some of the AoEs on the ground of the enemies are too fast. With the ping rate, you need to make them last a little bit longer. Every single one of them. Probably increase them by like half a second. Every single one of them by half a second. I don't care what AoE it is. Every single one of them by half a second. With the exception of the crab that goes underground, you need to shorten that phase down. Making the AoEs last half a second longer isn't the same thing as making that phase of the crab going underground. Spawning AoEs last that long I think he does it like 3 or 4 times. He only needs to do it twice. 3 or 4 times is a bit fucking excessive. Unless you put those times on a cooldown to where he could go underground and he could use it once. And then it goes on a cooldown for X amount of time. And then he could go underground again. And then he can use it 3 times back to back. But then he can't use it again because it's on cooldown. Right? And depending on how many he does, depends on how long that cooldown is. He does it once, it's only 10 seconds. He does it twice, it's 20 seconds. If he does it 3 times, it's 30 seconds. That type of shit, right? But yeah, that phase is kind of shit. That's the floor that I made it to. We could beat it, but the time limit is a little low. So at that point, the time limit probably needs to be taken up to 20 minutes instead of 15 minutes on boss rooms. Because I mean, if somebody's gonna go in there and are willing to waste the time, you really shouldn't put it on a time attack. The boss floor should not be on a time attack. Now you could make it to where you could make it to where if you complete it in a specific amount of time, like you do with the trials. The trials are actually how I would do it, but you still make it to where there is a time limit. But realistically, there shouldn't be a time limit. There should just be you complete it or you do a time attack and get an extra reward for beating the time attack. But realistically, I think this system's okay. But like I said, I mean, realistically, there should be no time limit on completing it, and then you have to beat it within 40 seconds in order to get this reward, right? So this whole 60 seconds needs to be deleted. It needs to be 40 seconds. You complete it because you do it, right? Because this right here is mandatory right here. So to make it to where you have to beat it in the time limit, which means you can't get this skill, which is what you need in order to do it, is problematic, right? So yeah, I don't think it should be time limited, in my opinion. But to get the max reward, I think it should be. So doing rewards based off of the time attack on this is not bad, but I don't think I should have to be suffering a time limit when we've spent 15 fucking minutes fighting that boss and we've done it twice and we're almost about to beat it and we could keep trying, but we just fell. It's not like we're getting deleted because we're making mistakes. No, we're getting deleted because you have an improperly designed scaling system, from my perspective. My gear score was higher than the floor I was on, so unless maybe there was somebody in my party that was slacking on their gear scores, but I don't know. What else is there? We did the talents. This system is cool. I think having another macro palette to utilize all of these skills would be helpful. But in general, I think it's fine. These are okay. I didn't really get much on them, but they're there, right? They're not that difficult to do. I don't think they're that bad. I think the functionality is cool. I still think I should be able to destroy this and get back the materials if I want, even if I've learned it. But I can kind of see why you didn't do it that way. But still, I mean, like the gold ones, because that means I could. Well, I just want to go use this one, so I'd have to break it and go use that. And since you are generous enough to at least give us back all the mats for it, I guess that's okay. This system is fine. This bothers me because you only have these skills right here, so it's like you get here and then maybe amplify this skill. Like I said, this should really be on a lower cooldown, and I should be able to cancel anything out of it, especially running up a wall when you lose momentum. But this bothers me because it's like you're gonna give us more skills and we don't already have enough buttons as it is, and it's like, so am I gonna have to remove this for this? Because at that point, it's like if you make it to where we have to start fighting underwater and stuff like that. Swim fighting, or diving, or making a water area to where we can run across the water, and we'd have, I mean, at that point it would be like, instead of actually giving us I mean, you could put it on here too, to where you add an extra one that allows us to run across water, instead of swim through it, as long as we're doing it. But realistically, at that point, it would be more along the lines of, where was that at again? Skills, I think, right? It would be more along the lines of, well, you get into this new area where there's a lot of water, and then they add the ability, and then you can amplify the Phantom Dash to where it lets you run on water when you use it, right? And you add the ability to where when you're floating and you do the glide, now you can fly through the air, right? In the same manner, right? It would be kind of similar to, because at that point it's like, these right here should technically be on the adventurer skills, and they're not. I don't even know what. Apparently, don't know what I'm looking for. I mean, but they should be here, and they're not. I don't know. I don't know what this does. That did. Why would you reset it? Would you branch out to where I want to go more into this? Because at that point, it's like, at that point, like I said, it would be, you would put those two things here, right? And then each area you go to enhances one of these in some manner, whether it takes more, you don't lose momentum after doing it, or you get in a momentum boost, or it costs less stamina, or something like that, right? I'm not sure though on that one. NPC shops seem okay, because like I said, you have this guy, you have this one right here, and then you have this one. I don't know. All of the stuff is here, so it's not that bad. The housing's kind of blah right now, but it is what it is. It's not entirely bad. It's just there's not enough time to keep playing to enhance upon it. Seems if for what it is, it's nice. It's there, and that's all I'm going to say about that, because it just needs more work. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just incomplete. The leisure events and stuff like that, so that would be on the features page. I mean, this is not bad. The dailies are really good. This is kind of I don't know. It's whatever. This is kind of but this is worth it, and this is worth it too, and then this is worth it. So this one's fine. The elite hunts, like I said, these guys have too much HP, or they hit too hard. One of the two. I'd say they have too much HP, and once you hit about level 50, they hit too hard. But like I said, it would probably be resolved a little bit if you lowered their HP, lowered the cooldown of using a healing potion, or a healing thing. But man, yeah, they at level 50 something, they do a little bit too much damage. Before that, it's okay, but yeah, they're pretty gnarly. You have to team up to beat the higher ones, and I think that's kind of shit. Boss fights, like I said, I personally think no boss should one-hit you. And if it is a one-hit mechanic, it should be clearly fucking blatantly honest that it's a one-hit mechanic, and your dumbass was not paying attention and got hit by it. But I mean, they do. I think they do a little bit too much damage. Their health pool is whatever. I don't think it's too bad. It might start becoming an issue if people aren't on plane. I still think it should be based off of how many people are attacking it. Amplifies how much HP it goes up. Guild cargo, I did it. It seemed all right. I was a little confused if I could donate over the 2K or not. to get the remaining rewards, and I was wondering if that 20K was guild specific, so everybody in the guild donate. So 10 people in the guild donating 2K means less people have to. One person has to spend more resources, you know. But you could. The check-in was fine. Weeklies, the dungeons in themselves were fine. I don't like how people were rushing and pulling everything, so you need to gate them at walls and shit like that until they beat all of the enemies, because we got locked on this one when we jumped down because we didn't do something on the upper floor, I think. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if that was the case or we really did bug out, but it felt like we didn't kill all the enemies, that we couldn't get to the boss. This boss fight was pretty cool. This boss fight was good. This boss fight was good. This boss fight was good. The problem with this boss fight is I would still state that not having a healing item on a low cooldown for a DPS, this boss fight is problematic. This one was fine. This one was fine. And this one was fine. Can't say anything bad about those. Like I said, when it comes to doing this, since you're RNGing the floors anyway, you could add parkour floors, you could add puzzle floors. Like I said, I think the enemies have a little bit too much HP. That crab boss that goes underground, he's gonna run you out of time, so that mechanic needs to be adjusted. Guild activities, can't say anything about this, but I'm sure they're functioning fine because your leisurely activities are functioning fine. Guild hunts, I would say the same thing, because your vaults are functioning fine. I would assume this is functioning okay. Same thing with the dance. Like I said, you have the leisure event for the dance. I'm sure that working. This is the one thing I didn't do. So like this is the one thing I didn't do. So I can't tell you if it's good or not. From looking at what it is, I can't say it's bad, with the exception of I do not like the fact that if you do more damage, you get more rewards. Like actually get more rewards. I do not like that. For for instance, if this guy drops an item and you doing more damage nets you a higher chance of getting a reward, that's bullshit. If you doing more damage nets you more, gives you a higher number of this so you can meet the threshold of getting these rewards, that's gear progression. This is not the same thing as he drops a rare-ass fucking item that I need, and because somebody shit all over him, and I couldn't do anything to it because they took away 90% of his HP, and they get a higher chance at that drop than I do, that's bullshit. But if it's just around the more damage you do, the more points you get getting to this, making getting to this easier, like hitting it at the end and gives you extra points so you can hit this 1200 easier, that's fine. But it should, at that point, it should not be difficult to get the 900, right? For it to be difficult to get the 1200, I'd respect that. But for this right here, no. This, okay, whatever. But this, no. No one should be allowed to progress faster in the game just because they're further in the game. When you're trying to generate people doing this, like I said, that's along the same lines as what I was discussing earlier, to where you're saying that someone else's $1 is more than someone else's $1 just because they're willing to give you more of it at that one time. No. If they're willing to pay for it in advance, yes. But if they're willing to give it to you, if they just happen to have that extra funds to give to you at that one moment, no. And that's what that shit is to me. That's what this is to me. I've given you more stuff and I deserve more stuff. No. You're giving the exact same stuff in that moment, and you're saying that they don't deserve it because they need to get on your level. And no. Well, they need to make something that I can get that no one else can get because I'm capable of doing it and they're not capable of doing it. No, I will never agree with Grandmasters and Trials of Osiris on Destiny. You are an elitist asshat complaining about being in the top 1% and saying that other people need to get on your level because, hey, it's the content I want, and you have to be able to complete it, and you not being able to get that extra weekly reset item and fall behind in progression, meaning that I'm going to progress faster than you and always be better than you? No. No, hell the fuck no. Cannot stand that shit, man. Not on weekly progression. On the grind progression, yes. Not on weekly progression. If you can go into the dungeon endlessly and grind that shit out on the hardest difficulty level and have a higher chance at getting that reward, yes. But if you're saying, I'm able to get this item once a day, I'm able to get this item, and you're saying that just because you're better than me, you deserve to get it and I don't, when I'm participating and keeping the content relevant, you're full of shit. So, like I said, I do not agree with the ideology that the person that gets the last hit gets more points, and the person that does the most damage gets the most points. The way that system should function is if you are there for the amount of time, how long you've been engaged in that fight. That's where it should be sitting at, not how much damage you're doing. If we both go in there and you're shitting on it and you can kill it in 5 seconds, as long as I'm there for that full 5 seconds, I should get full credit for it. If I'm there for 3 seconds, you get more credit than me. You were there the whole fucking time. It's based off of how long you're engaged in the content, not how fast you can do the content. That is the problem with the current design development, and it stems from somebody saying they're in the zone when they're zoned the fuck out. They're just paying attention to one fucking thing and not everything. Focus farming. And like I said, that's the problem I had with the dungeons, is people are trying to rush through the fucking content and shit like that. But other than that, the dungeons function fine. This right here, you should not, on this one specifically, on these, it's whatever. Right? You come over and you vote and you have a conversation on these, right? This right here, you should not incentivize people standing around and completing it. No. And like I stated before, it should, like, as long as I'm within this path area, it should count. Right? And I should see it. I should see the thing. And once you get so far out of the path, so this should not necessarily be a line, but like a cone AOE or a linear AOE that follows it, where and then you need to litter enemies throughout the whole area. Like, it's like, maybe not if the event's not up, but when this event's up, man, there should be a crap ton of fucking goblins all over this area right here, especially right here where the boss spawns. Right? Or does the boss spawn over here? The boss might spawn over here. So like it's like you run all the way through it down to here, and then they go back up, and then they come back down, and then they come back up. So maybe that's what's actually happening. You have the patrol people running down, attacking the stuff, and each time they get to here, you get a point, and then they'll run back, and then you'll get a point, and then they'll run back, and you'll get a point. So if you're not there clearing all these goblins, they can't just run back and forth and back and forth. So, like, this event right here needs a little work. But that way, like I said, you can run and you can clear all the enemies, so they're not just standing there beating on them and slowly going, and they're fighting and slowly going. You're just boom, boom, and they're just running like this instead of fighting, stopping, fighting, stopping, fighting, stopping. You just, because you're deleting them all the way back and forth, right? Because then you could coordinate that shit to where you can get a bunch of rewards to where a group of people are running one way and a group of people are running the other way. That way the NPCs can just run back and forth and back and forth, and back, making that number go up faster, right? Something like that. But advocating leisurely as standing around doing fucking nothing, that's not leisurely. Leisurely is this event popped up and you have the choice to go do it or not. You can do it now, you can do it later. You have 2 hours to, that's leisurely. It's a leisure event. That does not mean stand around and do fucking nothing and get credit for doing nothing. That is not what that fucking means. Not in my opinion. This shit right here is bad. This one, you run into town and you dance and you go AFK. That's whatever. You're in town. You're supposed to actually be there talking to people. The same thing for this one. You're supposed to be talking. This, you're supposed to be doing a patrol and fighting enemies, and you're standing around doing nothing. Now, it's not technically your fault because it's not littered with goblins. This should be a goblin. I should see like 30 fucking goblins on my screen right now. So like, but no, and if you're going to go farther with adding more leisurely activities or shuffling them out, then when you're doing combat ones, that needs to be a thing, because at that point you could also do puzzle ones, or quiz ones, or uh, parkour ones, right? To where you start at the front and you run and you complete it and you get one reward. You start at the front, you run and you complete it and you get one reward. Like this, just standing around doing nothing to generate friendship coins, kind of shit. To where if you did a parkour one, the faster you complete that shit and the faster you get back to the starting line to do it again, the faster you can get your friendship coins. So you can actually farm these things, right? Challenges. Not sure what this is. Oh wait, yeah, I've already discussed that. Explore, fishing, life skills. Already went through that. Like I said, the structural design of that would be: you start off and you grab gemology, and you get whichever gem you want, depending on what you are. Depends on which one you need. You can look at them. Right. Point strike. I can't tell you what it does, or I can. So this is crit. So, and this is haste. This is mastery. This is luck. And those are the 4 you would go for. I'm going for crit because I need to make sure my Ido crits. Haste wouldn't be too bad, maybe if you're a healer, so your skills are always up and ready to go. Mastery is, I believe they said overall damage, and when you get to in-game content, what you really want to be going for. Luck is dot stuff. I know it has a lot to do with Ingram and stuff like that, or wills. So if you have something that procs a fire when you use it or something like that, a dot, my class doesn't have one, but if you do, luck might be valuable if you're doing a damage over time. So that's that. But so you would go in here and you would pick which one of those you want, and that's the one you put a point into. And after you do that, that's when you go in here and you pick the gem processing, so you can make the gem, and then you would go into mining and you would do your Baru ore, so you can do refinement on your weapons, and then you would go down to artisanary and do burning powder, right? And then you would go back up to mining and you would get your aster ore, probably. You could probably stipulate that. See, I did that wrong. I'm sorry. So this still wouldn't be a good edit. You would go into smelting, grab metal processing, then you would go over here and then you would grab your Aztec ore, and then you would go back to smelting and you would grab your stone processing, and then you would go back here and you would grab your Luna ore, and then you would go back here and grab your stone forging, right? And then after that, you would grab your food, whichever one you're using. I think fish is probably the most ideal. I could be wrong. You'd have to check that. But I think each one of these, eventually you're going to need 2 of them, but I think each one of them have the potential to make anything that you need, right? I say fishing, personally, is more ideal. You can also grab the cheer up treat. I'd say it's hit or miss. I'm not sure. I haven't used it yet, but I think it might be viable. Then you would want to go to alchemy and you would want to grab whichever one you need. If you're using wind, lightning, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory which one you need based off of what type of elemental damage you do. I don't know which one you do. I'm using lightning, so I went with lightning. So you would grab that, right? You would grab this one, and then after that, you would need to go with botany to get your mushroom. I get mushroom, like I said, because at that point with culinarian, you need fish and you need mushroom, right? So you need to gather mushrooms, and that's pretty much it until day 7. And then once you hit day 7, you need to come over here and you need to get gem wax, and then you need to start grabbing your pro. You need to grab your pro ruby. Then you need to go to then you need to go to gem crafting, and you need to get which cut you want. The cuts vary. It changes what you get. I'm using agility, so I went with the fancy cut. If you're using something else like strength, you would go with the triangular cut. If you're using a square, that would be stamina. This is HP. And then intellect would, if you're a magic attack user, you would go with intellect. I'm not sure who uses strength, but I mean that's basically what it is. If your main stat's based off of agility, you go with fancy cut. If it's based off of strength, you go with triangle. I think, right? Yeah. And then if it's based off of magic attack, you go with intellect, or pearl cut if it's based off of magic attack, right? And then of course, if you're a tank or whatever, and you need more HP, you would go with a square cut. And that's the one you would pick on this level right here on day 7. You would grab that, and then let's see, get the ruby. I would probably state you would want to possibly grab, I think, is it fast? I think that's right. Okay, so where do you use fast? Okay, so no, you don't need that yet. So you don't need this yet, but you would start needing to grab this stuff right here. Right now we're kind of locked out of the content. We technically should have access to the content, but I don't think we can get there yet. I didn't actually try to search. I asked in global, no one said anything. But at that point, this stuff right here is where you would need to get this. That way you could spend less stamina to make more of these. And that would be the same thing of these two right here. So you would just start going down grabbing this stuff. If you want to dye your clothing, you can get this whenever you feel like it. And that would be day 7. And once you hit refinement level 5, that's when you need this one. And then that's also when you need this one right here. When your refinement hits level 5, it starts going down to 95%. And I don't know if it really matters that much, but you're talking about stamina loss at that point. So making this using it every single time might not be a bad idea. So you would want to get this then. As soon as you hit mastery 5 or refinement 5 on your armor. What's happening? I should be able to click the button and rush to the end of this text. Like I said, once your refinement hits level 5, it goes down in success rate. And like I said, if you lose these mats when it fells, that's a lot of mats. This is a lot of mats. So I mean, using one of these, which is the one you make, I mean, I'd say it's worth it, because like I said, now you're talking about if you crafted these, that's stamina loss. If you didn't craft them, then it doesn't matter. But if you crafted them, that's stamina loss. So using this one item to net 100% success rate, just to make sure you don't lose your stamina cost on this, because if this number is going to keep going up, we're gonna have a fun time of it. That's for sure. It doesn't. Does it say what level it goes to? Hold up a second. Yeah, I don't. It doesn't, like, you might want to put what level it goes to, because I know, like, right here you say it can go up to 100 like this, and then I swear there was something else that said it only goes up to 30. Can't remember where that's at. But yeah, gems. You socket gems here. Shit. Like I said, I'm tapping the button. It should have actually gotten me to the scene faster. So go to reforge. When it comes to reforging your gear, these two stats do not change. This stat will RNG. This stat up here on gold gear is random. I don't know what pull it pulls from, but it is randomized, so you might get a different one than the one I have. Unless the weapon is like that. I know that I've seen on armor, I've seen different things drop. I've seen different stuff on the head, on the boots or the gloves as well. Sorry. You know, it could be armor, it could be HP. So this is random. These numbers, one of them is going to be 100 and one of them is going to be 50. So you want to get the one for the stat that you want the most. Now I don't know. I haven't tested enough, and I don't know if I can get something other than this, because I was trying to get mastery and crit on this, and I got like 4 or 5 pairs of gloves, and I only got luck and haste, and it was, like I said, it was either the luck was 100 or the haste was 100. So at that point, these stats might actually be locked on gold gear. To make that way, they make sure you hit your level, not your level, but your stat check on dungeons and stuff like that. It might actually be locked for that very reason. So at that point, it's like, if you I'm going for crit, but once my crit gets high enough, then I probably need to actually switch over to mastery, because I don't need crit anymore, that type of thing. And that's how you would do it. And then of course, like this, you would want to make sure you roll what you're looking for. For my class, which is the Stormblade, agility, mastery, crit, and I would say haste would be the third one if you're trying to get it. Versatility for DPS. So technically, if I was trying to solo something, I might want to actually get versatility all the way down, so I don't die to those NPCs that I say keep deleting me. Sacrifice my crit to actually get my damage reduction up. So realistically, this being versatility for soloing might not be too bad. But luck, I don't use luck, so I can't even justify luck being here, realistically. But that's about it for that. You level this up, and like I said, you get these items. They're not too difficult to get, and you use it to level up. And once you hit 100, and if you don't get the stat you want, you can put more into it to try to re-roll the stat that you're looking for, which doesn't really matter much, because if you break this down, it will give you back all of these items. So if you just happen to not get the item you're looking for and you get another sword, you could dismantle this sword and try re-rolling again. That way you can try to keep this number as low as possible. Because you'll get back all of everything you put into it. You will not get back your gem. You'll have to make another gem, but you will get back all these items right here. And this doesn't matter, because this is, no matter if I switch weapon, I will always have this. This is a permanent passive buff for the equipment that you're using. But like I said, you would have to just resocket another gem on your new weapon. Dismantling, I mean, you get back these for this type of gear. And like I said, if you did upgrade this, like over here, right? If you did upgrade this, it doesn't matter how many times you put it in there. You can go all the way up to the top, right? Maximum 30, it re-rolls, right? And this will re-roll, you know, every single time you do it. Luck, right? Right. Okay, I got crit. So, I mean, I would stop right there, technically. But, like I said, it doesn't matter how many times you put in there. This costs 2. I'm up to 10. I could put all of this in here. At this point, it doesn't really matter, right? I mean, it doesn't really matter. If I go down to dismantling right here, I'll get back every single one of the ones I used. Every single one of them. It'll give me back however many times I did it. So it's not, like I said, re-rolling this to the stat you need is not bad unless you're still trying to level something. So I would advise you to get everything to 100 first before you go all in on re-rolling. Besides that, you have this system over here, which is if you don't have a piece yet, this is shit. This item, like I said, this item is complete shit right now. It's complete shit. I can turn it into Luno. And that's about the best thing you can do with this item, right? That's what this currency is for, is Luno. Because all of this shit is garbage, honestly. I mean, like, it's not if you just first get here and you're still trying to get gear and you haven't gotten a piece that has the right stats on it yet, then trying your luck and trying to get one of these is not bad. But once you have the gold pieces, it's completely pointless. But any of this is completely pointless once you have the gold pieces. And technically, if you have the 80 pieces, because there's a piece that this only goes up to 30, and then there's a piece which are those which you buy, right? So if you come over here and you buy one, right? And then you go and look at it. It stops at 30. So if you have an 80 piece, technically this is shit. As long as I would state that if you have an 80 piece and as long as you have one of the stats that you want, this is bad. If you have an 80 piece and the two stats on it aren't the one you want, you could argue that it's not that it's okay. Right? But realistically, after you start getting perfection 80 pieces of gear, or this stuff completely has no merit whatsoever. None. So this box right here has always baffled the shit out of me. It's random which one you get. Right? It's completely random which one you get. So this box right here has absolutely no purpose for me. Unless, when I buy it, I've never bought one. So this is the first time I'm buying one. Unless it gives you a piece of 80 gear, then maybe it might not be bad. Gave me a charm. Okay, so it gives you a random piece of 80 gear, but that's a problem because if it's not class specific, it's a problem, right? The fact that you can get everything from here is a problem. If I happen to get this, it's a problem. It truly is a problem. If it was just my class stuff, like, so at this point, this needs to be specifically my class, right? It gives you a random level 40 epic piece of gear with a perfection of 80 for your class. That's what this needs to be. And then it would have validity. Because you might not have gotten your weapon yet, and you're still rocking this piece of shit that you bought because you just got here and you're like, I need a weapon that does the most damage. So you buy this. And then it's at perfection 30. And then you're like, okay, I haven't got my gold weapon yet. And I haven't got an 80 gold weapon yet. I have 100 to spend. I'm going to buy this, right? So at that point, then technically I think it might be worth it. We live commentating, man. Oh, it's wrong thing. I need to smell. See, I mean, I wasted 100 and got back, or I wasted 20 and I'm only going to get back 2 to 4, right? See, even this. So technically, a perfection of 80 should net me 4 to 6 or something like that, right? It should be more than 2. Or it should always give me 4. There shouldn't be a variable on an 80 perfection. I should always get 4. Right? And even then, I spent 100 to get this, so it's a little shit if you ask me. See what else? What else is there left to discuss before I call it? Only other thing I can think of is the image banner. Yeah, like I said, teleport me and then call my mount. Because if I can teleport while I'm on my mount in that area, and I can't teleport if I'm on my mount, means you summon my mount and then teleport me instead of teleporting me and then summoning my mount. This right here is fine for what it is. I don't have a problem with this as much as I have a problem with the dismantling of them. Like the gold ones, they don't give you enough. Like especially these, they do not give you enough. They give you like 60 to 90, and they should really be giving you like 100 to 200 or something like that. 100 to 150, right? It should only take me. It might take me 3 to turn it into 1, but it could take me 2 to turn it into 1. That type of shit. That's why I said 200, because technically, it shouldn't take me more than 2 to make 1. Right? Technically. Basically, it should be 200 to 300, in my opinion. And I should be able to take this one, break it down, and then buy this one, in my opinion. Because of how much because of what these are, and how you actually get them. If you can actually physically farm them like these, I could respect you having it at 60 to 90. Makes sense. I can farm them like these. Right? But if I can't farm them, and I can only pull them from the banner or buy them with shards, then me breaking down one I've gotten from a banner should give me at least 200 points or 300 points to where I can get the one I want. So, like I said, 150 I think would be a good compromise. 100 to 150 would be a good compromise, because that's saying that I can take 2 and possibly make 1, or if I get unlucky, it'll take 3 and I can make 1, right? But at that point, I don't know that like the amount you get for the that's the wrong one, my bad. The Will Wish banner, it's a little off. For the rare wish, like the amount of shards you get for these is off. It needs to be increased. Like I stated earlier, the material boxes that are in the regular, the cosmetic and mount wishes, they need to be put over here. All of the item materials need to be put like in their respective. The blue one needs to go here, the purple one needs to go here, and the gold one needs to go here. Besides that, the probability, the rolling seems okay. The percentages seem right. I would still stipulate that the community and possibly even the developers are under a misconception of what a ratio and a percentage are. They're looking at a percentage and seeing it as a ratio, and that's not the case. A 1 in 80 is not the same thing as a 1.35%. It's not the same thing. I would still state that a 15% chance is too low. But that's only because when you calculate it up, you have so you have 18.65 plus. Here, let me move this to the other monitor and do it that way so we don't have that issue. So 16.85 plus 0.15 plus 1.20 plus 12. Oh, I guess it is 100. My bad. When I calculated, what was I calculating last time? Was it the guarantee? Maybe it was the guarantee that's off. Like, realistically, this should be what it is normally without the guarantee. It's like y'all have intentionally inputted a ratio in the banner system because people stupidly think a percentage is a ratio. So you're like, okay, well, we'll put the 1.35% we know it is no matter what. Say it's a 0.15% to confuse them and tell them that in 80 we'll give it to you for free. And then confuse them with the fact that there's actually 40 of these. So at that point, the chance of you getting it is actually a 25% on the 80th pull. Now, like I said, this is very good to add, right? This is very good to add the ability to actually resonate and pick which one you want. This is ideal right here. This is perfect. The ability to switch between them, though, the amount of time it takes, I don't know. I don't know if there should be a timer on it like that, because I don't know how long it's going to take me to get this, and I might change my mind. Right? So at that point, it's like, I could understand not being able to do it in the same day, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days. Like, this seems a bit excessive. Like, I should be able to switch this more often than what you have it set to. I mean, I think you might have it set to a week. And if it's set to a week, I guess that's kind of okay. It allows people to not go complete ham and say, I'm going to get all this one, all this one, all this one, all this one. Right off the bat, it's going to take them a month before they can get all three of them if they're truly being the hippo I know they can be, allowing all the tilapia to play in the pool. But yeah, a pay to win person is a hippo, and the free to play people are the tilapia eating the shit that it spews as it runs around in all of its glory. Right? It's a symbiotic relationship, so you can take it as an insult or you can take it as actual factual representation of how it functions. I'm not a whale, I'm not a dolphin, I'm a fucking hippo, and that's just the way I feel about it. You're a tilapia, and you feel that you should have the right to dictate what happens in this pond when you're not contributing to the safety of said pond. So, like I said, it's a better analogy than a whale. I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit it as hard as I can with my money. So if you're using whale in the terms of hitting it really hard, you're whaling on something, versus whale as in a mammal that swims in the ocean and is extraordinarily big. Nah, bro, a hippo. That is the mammal you need to be basing that analogy on, because the tilapia and the hippo have a symbiotic relationship. The tilapia keeps the pond clean with QA testing in a free-to-play environment. A hippo is the territorial, this is the direction this pond goes because I'm spending money on this game, and I have a right to dictate the evolutionary path it takes. And I keep it clean sometimes too, with QA. But free-to-play players should not have any directional influence over the game besides game-breaking shit. This is the argument that will always stem from playtesting and QAing. If you're doing it right, they're the same thing. If you're doing it right, they are the exact same thing. But if you're not all in on it, and you're like, I'm gonna see what this is about before I support it, and then I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna go a step farther than that and be like, I'm gonna see what this is about, and tell them they need to get their shit together before I support it. And then they fix it, and then you still don't support it. Those are the play testers. The people that are here just because they want to pass time, not because they want to make the experience better. They're here to complain about the experience, but not actually fully contribute to the experience by putting in the time, putting in the effort, and putting in the funding. All three of those things. Putting in the resources. Doesn't matter what that resource is. It's time, money, effort. Putting in all three of the resources. That is a tilapia that you do not want in the pond. But you keep opening the pond up to all of those tilapia. And we've created this bastardized, free to play, that shit's not fair, that's pay to win mentality, when no, it's pay to progress because you want to play this game as little as possible and progress at the same speed as everyone else that's playing it more than you. And put absolutely nothing into the experience except your opinion of how shit it is. It could be better, I give you that much. It is not ideal. But trash, shit, garbage, blatantly posting and chat that, man, they should have given the code to someone else. This game sucks. That passive aggressive ass attitude, no, you can go somewhere else. Y'all need to quit supporting those types of people. I have an aggressive attitude. It's not passive aggressive. I actively play this game and bitch about it. I don't actively play this game and bitch about it and then not give back proper feedback and support to the game I'm fucking playing. I don't just say, this game is shit. I tell you why it's shit. There's a difference. This system right here, the HUD would probably be the last thing. It is problematic to some degree because if I have my HUD up and I hit F, wrong button. The overlay gets canceled out. So technically, the interaction button when this is up right here should not exist. It's along the same lines as if I'm holding down Alt, right? And clicking on stuff with a mouse. I mean, implementing that too, to where you can have point and click, right? To where I can target him and do that. That might be helpful too. To where you can switch between the two. To where you have tab targeting and then point and click targeting, to where you're still moving around and your mouse is on the screen like this while you're still moving around. You're like, I want to click on this guy. Target his ass, go, and then start auto-pathing towards his ass. That might be helpful for some for accessibility with some people. This stuff right here, I mean, it's okay. It's missing how many I've completed and what I've completed. So I mean, I like the completed quest tab. I'd like to have a completed test tab. This right here is fine. This is okay. I don't think this is bad. I like how this works. I don't know how to shift between the two because apparently you can have multiple wheels. I don't know how to switch them on the fly, so there needs to be a button that tells me how to do that. Because we're talking about UI at this point, right? Like I said, the chat box needs to be kind of fixed. You need to give me tabs at the top that I can switch between. And I should be able to come in here and set what I want filtered from each of from general tab, to where it's like I have on general tab I don't have world chat because or on general tab I have everything, but then I can switch between them because when I'm in a dungeon and I have it on, I can't switch between them. I can't even go in here and hit team or guild, right? And then back out and it's on guild chat. No, it's always on general chat, and that's a problem. I'd like to be able to move this up. The emotes, I mean where it's sitting at, I don't like having to scroll to look for them. This over here is fine. I would like the ability to be able to send these guys a message on my friends list. Right, so we'll sit here and I'll send him a message. This is a test, right? So apparently my cap lock's on. So it pops up down here, but there's no way for me to like talk to him. I mean, the tell/whisper function needs to be implemented into the game to some degree. I don't know how you would do that, especially when some people can have the same names. But that's also, it's more of a respond thing to where I can click right here on my name and then I'll hit reply and it'll pull up this instead of like pulling up an actual message. I can't do it because it's myself, but it's like even if they're not on, it would be the same thing as if he sent me a message back. I would sit there and hit message and it'd pull up this screen. I don't want to be pulled up at this screen. I want to be typing like this when they respond back to me. So the chat interface does need a lot of work, I think. Its core functionality is solid. I like this. I like pulling up the emotes and stuff like that. I like being able to favorite them. The mail system is fine. It'd be nice if I could go to this guy right here and send him a message, like actually send him a message in the game. So you would have messages, and then you have whispers or tells. You could do messages, and then you could do mail. So there'd be like send him a mail right here, click right here, and then send him an email. Where if he's offline, he'll see it when he logs in. That needs to be integrated into this. That shit need you don't need to outsource any of your shit. Voice chat needs to be implemented in here. Messaging system while offline needs to be implemented in here. You need to make it to where people do not need to go to Discord or Reddit or YouTube or Twitch to talk to people. You need to be able to do it all in the game. That's mandatory. Anything needs to be first party. In my opinion, everything that Discord and Reddit, those are third-party applications that are violating terms of service. If it's in the game. Voice chat's in the game. You should be talking in the game, not on Discord. You're trying to do a workaround to be able to technically go against code of conduct because they can't monitor you in the game, and you're over here talking shit instead of in the game talking shit. Because at that point, it's just a private party. And if it's not integrated into the system, when you're doing cross-platform, it becomes problematic. I don't want to get on Discord. Why are you taking the game out of the game? Why are you taking the first-party experience and throwing it into the third-party that's Discord? Everybody's using it. That doesn't mean you should slack on the fact that there's a mail system in here that I should be able to go to my friends list and send anybody I want a message while they're offline. And when they log in, they'll see it. Like an email address, right? So, I mean, it's like, at that point, the only reason why Discord exists and the only reason why Reddit exists is because I can't click on here and go to a form, an in-game form, so I have to go to Reddit now. This shit should be built into the system. I can't jump on here and do voice chat with somebody, so Discord was made. I can't jump in here and I can't send somebody a message, so Discord was made. If it was built into the game, and because it's not built, because the message system isn't built into the game, utilizing Discord for messaging is viable because there's not a first-party application for it. But as soon as it became viable, like the voice chat in this game, technically it's a third-party TOS violation. But it's a gray area because if you don't tell them that you're doing it, they don't know you're doing it. And don't tell Yoshi P you're modding and they won't do anything about it. But if you're blatantly streaming and modding or running around with a character that definitely has a mod that affects everybody else's viewing angle, then you're gonna, yeah. You're using a parser or something in the background and no one knows you're using a parser in the background, then what difference does it make? Publicly doing it, that's a different story. It's against TOS. So I don't agree with Discord on a public setting. I don't. Not if it's properly if voice chat and text chat and message system is properly integrated into to the first party program we're playing, which is this game. So, like I said, missing the mailbox and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, Discord's cool and Reddit's fine, but there should be a forum thing to where I click on this and it takes me to the forum in the game. Not pops up another browser and throws me into a third-party Microsoft browser or a PlayStation bullshit browser in fucking game. I click on this and it pops up the in-game form that I can start shuffling through. right? I mean, this is cool. I mean, like, all of this stuff is good. Support. This shit I'm talking about right here. What is this? This is a third-party workaround for an improperly implemented first-party system. That's what this shit is. That's what this is. I'm having to go through a hurdle. It's not just I click on this, right? I click on this and it says, "Hey, what are you trying? What do you need support for? Do you need to report a bug? Do you need to report feedback? Do you need to report a player? What are you trying to report with support?" And there's a category. You click on it, and then a chat box pops up, just like in Final Fantasy XIV. I am giving you feedback and suggestion as a title. Go down. This is what the fuck this shit's not working right. This shit seems weird. Blah, 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 blah. Enter. Bug reporting in the game, not a third-party pop-up like this shit right here. No. That's a no, man. That shit should be built into the system, man. And, in my opinion, anybody that reports shit to you, and they meet their weekly quota of making 5 or 10 feedback suggestions or reports, even if it's like, hey, I got nothing to report this week, should get rewarded for it with something. I don't know, in-game currency that you can generate that costs absolutely fucking nothing. Pay them for their time and they'll start doing it. Incentivize them to submit the tickets. Build a support system into the game properly, and then reward them for utilizing it and putting forth the effort to make your experience better. Even if you can't really pay them in real money, they're a content creator. They're getting their funding from their viewers. They don't need, they would just need to sign a contract with you probably for benefits and stuff like that. You know, insurance and stuff. And they work off commission from the people that's coming in, right? And then, but they're still submitting the stuff to you, so they don't have to put the extra little funds they get into your game because they're already making your game better. That's how free to play should work, man. You're like, the support system's not all there. What is it? That's the end of the beta. That's actions. The camera system. The camera system is good. I think that when I'm taking a picture for my card, I should be able to go up or down with it. Some of the emotes clip off, so I should be able to move the character that's in action around. Like, I should be able to take the camera and go up and down with it. Like, move it up and move it down. Not like this, but see, I can't even like actually move it up or down. Like, move it up to where I'm looking way up. Like, up here is where the center of the camera is, and I can see this guy and maybe a little bit of her hair, right? Like, move the camera up and down. You know, I don't think you can, like I said, you can't alter the angle in it. Do I have one, or do I need to buy one? I might need to buy one. I hope I have enough coins to buy one. I do. I have 1,000, so I can get one. So that's not the right thing. What am I buying again? Doesn't matter which one. Yeah, I have 100 right here. Why is it doing that? And then it backs me completely out, where I forgot what I was getting. That's a jarring, man. That's completely a jarring. All right, inventory. Right. So I can move this and I can zoom it out, but I need to, if she's jumping in the air, right? Her body goes off of the screen, right? I need to take the camera and move it up. Like, actually move the camera up. You do allow me to spin, right? So you do allow me to turn the character, and you do allow me to zoom in and out some. You should be able to zoom out in and out. Like this should function just like the other camera mode. Um, like I don't understand why you completely changed this. I mean, I can't even come in here and mess with the tilt or the view or whatever. Like all of that stuff should be like this right here should be the exact same. I should be able to move it exactly like this. All of this, where I can zoom out, zoom all the way in, zoom all the way out. I can spin the camera. I can adjust. This is what I need to be able to adjust, and you won't let me adjust it. I can't move it up or down, right? This right here on that one doesn't really matter, but it still being there would be whatever. It would allow you to actually like take a background. Like you could probably sell like for instance, you could take this room and put and make it as a background that people can buy with coins or buy with something, some type of currency. That way, you could add to the factor of that's the wrong button. Well, I mean, it's still in here as well. I think. Right. So, right settings, but not settings. It's photo frames, but it's actually settings to where it would be like you could change the background. But that's more of in where's that? What do they call it in here? Right? It's still settings, right? So you could take it to where you could sell, like I could take a picture of something and use it in this setting, or you could take a picture of an area and add that here, and then you could allow for the distortion of the background, right? Of with the slider of depth of perception, right? Because at that point it'd be like maybe that's why I made the comment that I mean I need to be able to like this. It's like I'm standing over you and you just got beat up. There's action lines coming at you, right? But apparently I can't do that here. I don't know what that is. It'd probably be this one, but this is filters, which is no different than this, in my opinion, to some degree. But that also reminds me that you need, it would be nice if you could take the screen adjustment, this whole menu right here, and actually put it in the settings to where I can adjust the visual like put it here so it always looks like that on my screen. Like always look like that. That filter always happens here. Tower of Fantasy did that with filters, and I'm like, that's neat. The only other thing I think is left is I keep saying that, and there's always one more. But I think this is at least the bottom of the barrel, right? Settings, all of these need to be key bindable. I need to be able to move any button anywhere. I don't care if it's an action button, like down here. I need to on both of these, on this one and on this one. You don't even have it implemented in controller support yet, but I need to be able to take this and put it on. If I want to put this on left mouse click, I should be able to. Do not care. Completely remappable, rebindable, everything can go anywhere type mentality. That's accessibility. That is mandatory in my opinion. The only worry is, well, if you don't have something keybind that is needed, then you would put up the pop-up. You don't have this bound. You cannot leave this menu until you bind that button. That would be the safety measure you need, and then allow everything to be key bound to anything. But specific things have to be key bound. That's the hard cap. The hard cap, or the hard lock, is making sure everything is key bound. Like everything that you need to actually navigate, like escape and clicking on stuff like with F or whatever. All of that, the confirm and cancel have to be key bound, right? And the menu to get into the settings needs to be key bound, right? So those are the only three things that have to be key bound. Have to be. You can't get into your settings menu. You can't leave. You don't have a cancel thing bound. You can't leave. You don't have a confirm thing bound. You can't leave. Right? Because until you hit the save button, it'll say, you saving it this way means you don't have these buttons. You cannot save it. That's where it's at. All of this stuff is whatever. The auto lock, you need an auto targeting swap. You have assistant lock on, but you need one that as soon as I defeat a mob, it'll go to the next thing that's in my party or I am engaged in. All of this seemed all right. I don't know. I've been running on max. Lens flare, it's whatever. All of this seems fine. Aside from adding the ability to adjust my filter right here, like you can in the camera menu. This, I have no idea. I don't know what this is. I guess I can add a credit card so I don't have to keep adding it. I'll have to check that out after I get off the stream if I can remember. What is this? More support. So here's another area to find support. And then the only other thing there is... This right here, like I said, the only thing that I noticed is I should really get a trophy for hitting 60. This seems like it takes a little long to do. I'm being real. Like I should have got it. I should have gotten this one. When I hit 60, I should have gotten the trophy to get this one. So once you get 60, you should actually get a trophy, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it seemed all right. It's just that the beta isn't lasting long enough to actually see if it's possible to complete it within the season, like all the way. But really, only thing that matters is this one. As long as no matter what, I can get to this one, then it's fine. This stuff right here is just incentive to keep playing, but you know, it's not technically mandatory. I do like how you can see the emblem right here. I think that's cool. It'll be nice if when a next season comes out, we could still technically use this little glyph right here. Like this is the glyph you get for that one. You know what I mean? And you can use it. And technically you could use any of them, any of the glyphs, like any of them, right? Whichever one you want to use. You can unlock like the color palette of this and this symbol right here, kind of like with how guilds work. Or you can make it to where I could set this to my guild, right? That's how Warframe does it. You can have a clan and you can have an alliance one, right? So at that point, you could have it to where you can have another one that has your guild symbol on it, right? This system seems okay. I don't know how to get this, so this kind of seems like shit to me. Just being real. The points you gave me for the week were good. So, I mean, next week I'm good to go. But for actually farming this, I have no fucking idea. I defeated a bunch of guys with little things above their head, and I have never got one. So, I don't know how you get that. These seem iffy. How they're supposed to function, they sound good, but I don't see it. I'm supposed to be healing myself, and I'm not healing myself. This is shit. This one should really be based off of the damage I'm doing, not it pulsing. Like, for instance, it gives me an aura that pulses, and when I hit somebody, I life leech off of them. That's what this one should technically be. This should be a life leech, not the pulsing of the aura leeches their life. No, the pulsing does extra damage, and me attacking them leeches its life. That's what this one should be. It leveling up RNG wise, it's fine. That's fine. But this one right here, not healing me when I'm attacking, like actually damaging them. You restore HP equal to 50% of the damage dealt plus 1% of your HP. It should be restoring my HP. This can be completely reworked to how much it restores, right? To where it's like it just completely remove. You restore equal to 50% damage the damage dealt. You restore when attacking. You restore HP equal to X% of your HP, right? And that'll help with the auto attacks of getting ganked. And then if you lower the healing items cooldown, then it will probably make it functional to solo elites even as DPS. But with how it's currently set, no. No. This needs to function to where when I do damage, it heals me. And if you want it to do damage, like the pulse does damage to him to get extra DPS, that's cool too. The other ones, I don't know. I didn't really use them. They sound neat, but they're situational. I think the best way of doing this is, or the most ideal way of doing this is this type of things. Damage is half, or its effect is halved on non-void targets. Is ideal. So everything works no matter what. But if you're fighting void targets, then it's going to work better, right? So basically, you would take all of this stuff right here the way it is, and that's how it is, and then you would put on all of them if effect is increased by 50% against void targets on all of them. That's, I think, would be a more proper balancing of it. If you had to adjust some of these numbers because it would be too high, when you add the 50%, that would be fine too. But I mean, this is cool. You could have picked 3 of them. Can't argue with that. That's pretty neat. Of course, this is just the trophies and stuff you're gonna get, and then here is the seasonal extra shop. So I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, I can't say that there's anything else. I think that's everything. Oh, party lists. That's another thing. When they're in your party, right? So you can set it like you have it set to where it's a specific symbol. It needs to be attack, healer, DPS. Or attack, support, guardian, I think is what it's called, right? Attack, support, guardian. And this is what it needs to be. But you have it set to where I believe it shows specifically what they are. Like when they advocate to join your party, it shows you what they are, but it doesn't tell you what it is. So you have to know what the symbol is. So in the beginning, it's a little harder. So I would stipulate that it'd be better to have it show what they are, right? So see, you have very specific things that they're different. Where this should just be an attack symbol. This should be a support symbol, and this should be a defense symbol. Now, if you wanted to get even farther when it comes to creating a party, you should be able to set these to that. Like I can come in here and I can adjust what we're doing, right? But I can't lock to what I'm looking for, to where I don't really care. I would set these 3 to attackers, or 2 of them to attackers, 1 to a tank, and then 1 to a healer, right? Or 1 to support, 1 to a guardian, and 1 to attacker. Or 2 to attacker, right? And like I would lock that to there. I would not give a shit what the attacker, what the guardian, or what the healer is. But if you have it set to where some people are saying that the which healer was it? The soul musician really doesn't heal that well. So depending on the content, you might want to be able to set that to specifics. So when you're making a party, you should be able to have the option to be, okay, I want to set this to an attacker, or I want it to specifically be a shadow or a stormblade, right? Depending on what content you're doing. But at that point, you would still need to be able to set, this is what I want it set to. This is what I want it set to. This is what I want it set to. I mean, with people joining and it pops up right here and then you can see what they are and you can see their power level, that's fine. But if I have it locked to where this spot is locked to a tank and this spot is locked to a healer, or I could just lock it to where I want it locked to one of my friends. I want to make this party and this is locked to a friend. Specifically, it's like I want this party and I want to make it to where one of my friends on here, like this guy right here, that dude, that's his spot. No one else can get into this spot but this guy. That type of thing, right? That's the only thing that I see that's actually missing from the party system, besides being in a dungeon and when you leave the dungeon, asking it to leave the party too when you leave the dungeon. That's the only thing about the party system that I'd say is actually kind of blah. Everything else seemed okay. Oh, here's the application, right? So, and then of course you have this. But like I said, locking these to specific roles. At least specific roles. You don't have to do specific classes because then I can actually see who's coming in and be like, sorry, dude. But then they'll be sitting there being like, why am I not able to be invited? Bro, you're not the right class, so you can't even apply to the party. You're not the right... You're like setting power level limits, setting limits on it. You need to be at least this. You need to be this class in order to get into the party. And so I'm sitting at like 1200, right? So if we were going to set up this properly, right? And we were going to come over to do this, right? And after this, I'll be done. So, it was a good beta test, I think. I think it's a good game. Right, so if I come over here, and I look at this, it says I need to be 11410. So technically, if I'm in a party, and I come here and I set this to this, and then I set it to this right here. Oh wait, sorry. This right here, and I hit save. It should lock it to anyone that's below this power level. In my opinion. Or I should be able to, right? So I should be able to set this power level limit to 1200 or 1120 or 12,000 or 11,300, 11,200, something like that, right? 11,000. You have to be at least 11,000 to get into this party, basically, right? And then on top of that, you have to be a tank, a healer, or a guardian, a support, or an attacker, two attackers. Once the two attackers fill up, that meet the score requirement, then the only people that can apply are healers or are supports and guardians, right? And that's it. And if we're worried about needing a particular specific healer, then the only person that can join once the guardian joined, the only healer, the support that can join would be the orc. The soul musician can't join because I have it set that way. But that's the level of progression that this needs to go in my opinion. It's a little lacking. It's there. Its core functionality works good, but I want to leave the I want to leave the dungeon and the party, and I want to lock who can join so I don't have to physically feel bad about somebody applying for my party and them not be able to join because, you know, I'm just an asshole. No, you're not the right class, and they won't let me lock you out once your role has been filled, right? And that's technically what should happen. And I believe that is everything. Aside from controller support, but I'll wait until, like I said, the main issue with controller support is that my bad. I was actually getting ready to be done, but I'm not quite there yet. So the main issue with controller support is this. There just really needs to be a sensitive. Besides the ability to keybind everything, which needs to happen, the sensitivity of this needs to be increased, and the interaction with stuff like this shouldn't happen. But that's the only problem I see. Like I said, the confirm button should not work the way it does when this system is here, right? So, fully customizable key bindings, a sensitivity slider for the cursor speed, and the interaction button not affecting something when this HUD is up, when the system menu is up, when the menu is up. because there is some inconsistency. I noticed that in certain there is a screen, and I think it's when you try to do a dungeon, when you try to matchmake. Specifically when you try to matchmake. So if you come over here and you try to matchmake, right? Right? So I'm on a controller and I come down here and I have to hit circle. Right? And it does that. Wait, where's it? Where's it at? There, it's something. I just can't. Maybe it's because I'm in a party. I'm a controller user. I would much prefer to play this game on controller. I played it in the beginning on controller, and then I just switched because it's too hassle without the ability to customize the experience like you can with. So circle is confirmed, right? And X is canceled, right? But in some menus, it feels like it works the other way. Like right here, I'm gonna hit circle, and it backed me out. It didn't match. So in this menu, it's flipped. This is the only thing I noticed. In this menu, the confirm and cancel button is flipped. If I have to hit X to confirm it, I don't have to hit circle to confirm it. So it's flipped right there. I don't care. Like I said, at that point, it's setting it to what you want it to be at in key custom bindables. But this, it's flipped in. The confirm and cancel option on this screen is flipped. I have to hit, if I hit circle to try to confirm it, it kicks me out. But on this screen, when I hit circle on match, it confirms. But on this screen, I have to hit, and if I hit circle, it cancels. So circle to confirm on this screen, then circle and X to confirm on this screen, which is weird. That's the only actual controller problem I've noticed. Everything else was generally preferential. Though I still would argue that accessibility for people with limited capabilities, whether it's making sure text stays up on the screen longer because they have a reading problem, or because they need to use the left side of their controller or more of their keyboard than their mouse, key binding is important. It is extraordinarily important for accessibility reasons. And that also, it's also the preference allows. Oh well, it's like the whole tag targeting. Some people don't. Some people like point and click targeting. So accessibility is also helps draw in clientele with versatility of customizational, right? So at that point, that's where I would leave this at. I like I said, overall, I think the experience was good. There were a couple of things that kind of agitated me, but that's more because of a lack of understanding with what I'm working with and acceptance of acclimation to some degree, but it still needs a little bit of it needs less revision than I would originally say I complained about, but it does still need revision. Anything that drastically just agitated the crap out of me, right? But overall, I think it was a good experience, and I think I don't understand why it did bad. I don't understand why it did bad. At this point, it's all conjecture, and y'all are full of it. It takes everybody to make or break a game. And the sad thing about it is it takes less people to break a game than it takes to actually make a game. It takes everybody to make a game, and it takes very few people to break it. Very few people. Everyone has to be working together towards a similar goal, or the game will not do well. So, and like I said, I still think it was just an oversaturation of market in a oversaturated demographic of area. That's the only reason why I think it didn't do great. On a personal level, I would state that the free-to-play model amplified it. If it was a subscription pay-to-play, if you had to spend $40 to buy the game and then you had to spend $15 to continue to play the game, that wouldn't have happened. It would have been a lot better. More ideal. It would have been more ideal. Because the support funding would have been there to pull in a bigger team to help mitigate it and fix it faster than what was capable with a free-to-play model. But, like I said, I still would blame it on a demographical and oversaturation of the market. That would be the main reason. You're going to release an anime game in Japan where anime's all over the place to them. It's not something new and exotic. They know it's there. It's been there forever, right? On top of that, if what you see in anime is actually true, people get scorned for it sometimes, right? So you add that on top of it, but gamers are gamers. So, like they say, gooners are going to goon, right? So at that point, but it's still an oversaturated market at that point, right? And if they like playing Tower of Fantasy better because it came out first and it's just as good and has and where it's not good, it's different. What's the point, right? There's no point. They've already gone all in on Genshin Impact. Why are they going to go all in on Blue Protocol? And in the Japanese market, if any article of gossip I've read has anything to do with it, they're not on the free to play model. They're not on the loot box model. They're not on the RNG model. We're not either. We've accepted it to some degree, but we're not like the Korean and Chinese market, to where they're acclimated to pay for an item to make sure that when you do this craft you don't lose your shit, because it'll blow up and you'll lose everything and have to start all over. Oasis style, man. That's just rough, man. No, I didn't. No, that is bad, dude. It's bad. I've played way too many Korean MMOs to know that a success rate system based off of that's pay to win. I have to spend money, because if I don't spend money, my ass is not gonna ever fucking get there. And even then, that's still based off of a time gate. I'll lose the item and I'll have to go get more to get the item, but I'll get it eventually. Versus, I played Rohan Blood Feud. They added some weapons that you could only buy from the in-game store with money that were the best weapons in the game. That is the only thing that is technically pay to win. If it is something that increases the power level of your character, and you can only access it from real money transaction, that is the definition of pay to win. Not, I'm going to just throw as much money at it as possible because I don't want it to take 12 years to do, and I want to get it done in as fast as the least amount of time as possible, even though it's going to cost me $1 million to do it. Because of how the RNG system works and how the time gating system works and shit like that, right? But it's a system, y'all want it. It's a common place for a gamer to request something from a dev. The dev give them exactly what they ask for, and then they're like, that's not what I wanted. Then you must have worded it wrong, because the genie gave you exactly what you asked for, and then you're saying it's not what you wanted. Just saying. But in any case, I'm going to call it here. Like I said, I can't think of anything else there is. I didn't go over housing because I just feel it's not fully integrated there. It's not really that great to talk about. It's there. You go in there. You make sure you do your dailies to level up your shit every day. And there is some stuff you can buy there. But other than that, it's not on my radar. I don't have that. I don't have 4 roommates to play this game with. So, but the construct of it is good, and I'll leave it at that. It was a good beta. Can't wait for the real launch, and hopefully it happens sooner than later. And hopefully a lot of people donated the Kickstarter to get it up and running, because aesthetically, mechanically, and the lore or descriptively, it's a good game. It's a good game. And like I said, I'll call it at that, and I'll find something else to play because I won't really have time to play it tomorrow, except for maybe like 2 hours, and it's gonna the servers go down. I think, or the servers are they're ending the beta on Sunday, so tomorrow, technically tomorrow my time, and I don't want to get pulled back into it when I have unfinished business, but I can do it at any time, so I'll just take my time with it and get there when I get there. So until next time, have fun, be safe, all that stuff, and I'll check you in the next one.